the Sports Showcase event on Hartford TV. I'm Ray Haruz, and I'm here with Dan Gallagher, and we are at Edgewood High School for this match, and we are just got our first out, and that was Daniel Rose who popped out to our pitcher for Edgewood. Welcome to the match, Dan. What do you think about this matchup?
It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, especially for our Edgewood team. They don't have a whole lot of feeder programs, and the coach was telling me today that they actually have kids that try out that have never really played baseball before. So it's a little bit of a struggle for these guys.
Makes them have to do a lot of coaching.
Yeah, a lot of coaching on the fundamentals when they should be doing a little bit more of the finer points of the game.
So we have Philip Healy as a senior as our second batter for Joppatowne. He is their catcher. And this match is near and dear to me, Dan, because I grew up in Edgewood until I was like 8, and I moved to Joppatowne, went to high school there. That was well struck. Let's see if our fielder has a beat on that.
Left fielder.
Yes.
Made a nice play on it. The weather today, Ray, is I don't know if it's really going to cooperate with us or not. We got storm clouds. We got some wind gusts. So it should be interesting, especially on fly balls to the outfield.
Yeah. So 2 outs here in the top of the first inning, so a good job by our pitcher to get both out that quickly. He didn't have to throw many pitches for that.
Nope. A little soft with a breaking pitch there, 55-foot breaking pitch.
So how much is the wind going to affect this today? I mean, that's going to be a little bit tougher.
Well, it seems to be blowing from the right field into home plate. So anything they're trying to get drive it into the gaps or outfield, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. The wind will kind of knock it down.
A little outside.
Throwing with some nice velocity though, early on in the game.
So, Dan, you told me you played college baseball, which means I'm going to assume you played some high school baseball and youth baseball. Did you ever get a chance to pitch?
Well, in youth, growing up, Little League, Babe Ruth League, things like that. But when we got to the little higher elevations, some of the club teams like American Legion and things like that, I stuck to what I did best, was middle infield.
Okay. Well, that's a respectable position. That's struck up in the air. Is that going to be in no man's land?
No, it looks like the center fielder made a nice play on that. 3 up, 3 down for Joppatowne. Nice inning for Edgewood there.
Yeah. So I'm just doing my little chart here to see the positions, and you usually want some speed in the outfield, and that time that gentleman showed that. So we definitely had 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, so again with the wind, it kind of his first step was back because it looked like it was going a little bit farther than it was, and made a nice play on it, and came in and made a nice running catch. So
what I'll have leading off here for Edgewood is Gabe Zell, and I will tell you, our head coach for Edgewood is Greg Rodenbaugh, and his assistant coaches are Carter Paulson and Jason Murray. And they are currently 0-14. And as you said, they have a very inexperienced team. And this is a really tough sport to come in with inexperience. It's one thing to put an athlete on a soccer field or even give a lacrosse stick if they can run really well. If they can pick up the skills a little bit, running will help them a lot. Throwing and catching and batting are 3 very skill-driven things.
Baseball's a failure sport, Ray. You can screw up 7 out of 10 times,
right,
and still get into the Hall of Fame and be an all-star. And
you're considered really good.
All that, and it's also one of the hardest things in physics to hit a round ball with a round object squarely.
Yes.
Coming in from 2 different planes, a raised pitcher's mound with the ball spinning. So it is definitely a skill-based sport.
But you know what though, you're talking about the failure rate, and I don't want to say there's more luck, good and bad, with baseball, softball, because there's luck in every sport. Your daughter Maggie and I called a lacrosse game recently, and the team that lost by I think 3 goals, they hit the crossbar like 6 times, and 5 of them they hit the inside, 5 of them hit the outside of the bar and went wide, and only 1 it hit slightly inside and stuck in the net. But In baseball, I'm going to be obvious here. I'm a big Oriole fan. And, I was listening to the radio station on the way here, and they were raving about how
Hadley had a nice day.
Yeah, he went 4 for 5 with a walk. But 2 of those hits were C&I ground balls and a bloop.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I won't take it, but there's another batter in the Orioles, Ryan Mountcastle, the first baseman. His statistics for hard hit rate said he should have been one of the top hitters in baseball.
Hitting into some tough luck.
Yes, so you can hit into tough luck in this sport, or you can hit into bad luck.
That is very true. Sometimes it's all about the baseball gods, whether they're smiling on you or they're not.
Yeah, you can have a game, in the softball game we just called the other day, literally one team had 9 hits, but they scored 8 runs, and the other team had 11 hits, and they scored 1 run.
Yep. I mean, again, sometimes seeing eye singles, or you barrel up on something and hit it right to the third baseman. So, it's a tough skill position, a sport.
Well, it's also timing. One of the big statistics in baseball is batting average with runners in scoring position.
Yep.
So, if you keep putting them on but not bringing them in, it gets very frustrating.
Well, I was talking to the Joppatowne coach earlier. Whoops.
That's a tough ball.
Ground ball to short.
I think
nice speed.
That out. So that was Gabe Zell, a senior center fielder, showing some speed. Dan, that was a ball between 2 fielders. It looked like they were a little unsure who was going to get it. But I think the only chance you're going to get that batter out is you have to charge the ball.
Yeah, that's the third baseman's ball on a hit like that. You got to be aggressive. Skin infield, which is no grass. Come in, make a hard charging play, and try to fire the guy out of first.
Well, and in addition, for those of you, that's a foul ball off to the right. For those of you that, when you see this game, we've had some days of rain, and we had some more today. And so the field is not going to be fast. It's not a hard, fast field right now.
Correct.
So this is Andrew Mathias coming up, and I'm good friends with his mom. I actually got a chance to teach with her, and we had a lot of fun teaching together. He is I think we've had it down here like a 4.6 grade point average, Dan.
Yeah, he's heading to Gettysburg in the fall.
I make this joke, but it's really not a joke, folks, so it's kind of sad. I think if you add in my first semester and my second semester GPA together, I think I might have made 4.6, Dan.
Oh, okay. You did better than I did.
Well, we have one defense. They didn't have weighted classes back then, but that probably still wouldn't have helped me.
Gone.
That's a really nice hit ball.
Nice rip out the center.
Over the center fielder's head.
Over the center fielder's head. The runner from first base was running on the play, and he'll score easily without a throw.
Yeah. So Andrew, nice job for him. He's here on senior day, along with Gabe Zell and Matthew Murdoch, Joel Agbesi, Ian Ferguson, Kyle Peretti, and Devin Molina. And I didn't get the entire grades written down, and I'll have to see if we have any seniors that are on the bench right now, but it is senior day, and that's always an emotional day for the parents, Dan.
Yes, it is. We've both been through that.
There's the replay. You see the runner coming around the base, scoring easily here.
Yeah, without a throw. Of course, he was running on the pitch, which helped him motor all the way around and get home safely.
Now, sometimes a coach wants you to wait to see. That's a pass ball or a wild pitch. The runner moves up to third easily. So now you have that dilemma of nobody out on third. Is the infield going to come in at all?
No, this early. Yeah, I think you just play at your normal depth. I might cheat up the third baseman and the first baseman a little bit.
Yeah, that's usually what we see is the first and third. But any infield ground ball to the right side, the runner should probably be breaking with them back, as long as you make sure it's not going to the pitcher.
You can be a little bit safe with no outs as a runner on third. You got to make sure that line drives and things like that.
Nice pitch.
You don't want to get doubled off, especially on third.
So we got Alien Ortiz is our third baseman at the bat, and he's a junior. Foul ball. Dan, we're a little bit further from the backstop, so I won't flinch as much as I normally do. But there's no promises. I saw a game on TV the other day, and there's 4 gentlemen were sitting right behind the plate, and the one flinched so bad, and his 3 friends made fun of him for 5 minutes. They were like mimicking him flinching, but it's hard not to sometimes. I don't know how these umpires don't. You know, they get foul balls in the face mask and the legs sometimes.
Yep. I don't think we've identified Cam Tressler as the pitcher for Joppatowne. Comes in with 32 Ks on the year, 1 save, with a pretty nice ERA of 3.95 for high school.
It's awesome. So one thing that you always wish you have in baseball, more so than softball, is pitching depth, because they have pitching rules on how many pitches they throw and when they can come back to the next game.
I'm still trying to get used to some of these new rules at the major league level.
Yeah.
With
pitch clock,
getting in and hitting and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? It definitely affects some batters more than others. My broadcast partner for the softball game, Barb Solberg, we were talking about Nomar Garciaparra for the Red Sox years ago. He was one of the ones, and there were some older players through the years that would have to adjust their batting glove, take it off, put it back on, do something with their ear flap, do something with something else in between every pitch.
Well, I was, one of those kind of scrappy hitters, line drives, top of the order, could run a little bit. And just throw off some pitcher's timing, go ahead and take a look down to the coach, let him run through all of his signals and his gyrations.
Are you saying you were trying to get into the pitcher's head a little bit, Dan?
Exactly.
Yes. So that
Any
was,
advantage I could take, I was getting.
Ortiz just worked a walk there, and that was a good eye because that ball was like barely high. So now you're going to see him run. And,
without a throw.
Yeah.
Got a nice jump.
That's a kind of what you would say steal in the pitcher. The pitcher didn't even pay attention to him.
And Tressler's a left-hander, so he's facing he's facing first base. So he's keep that runner a little bit closer than he did.
A lot of that's high ball, and that should score 1 run.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see. No, they did not tag and go to third, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit of fundamentals. The shortstop should be out there telling the center fielder where to go. He was not going to get him at the plate. So the best thing he could do was try to prevent the runner from second to go to third. But the runner at second, with the throw coming into the plate, should have tugged and made it to third.
I was just going to say that was 2 fundamental errors. So the runner on second base should be looking directly at his third base coach.
Yep.
And as soon as the third base coach sees the ball heading towards even the second baseman, he should be telling him to come.
Yep.
Because getting a ball thrown to the second baseman and then over, and guess what, Dan? That would have scored a run.
Yes, it would have. Little squibber down to the first base line. First baseman takes care of that, tags the base. But yeah, with a little squibber like that, the runner who is now on third should have been home.
Yes. So now we that was Matthew Murdoch who hit that ground ball, moved the runner over. Now we have Joel Agbesi, and I was told he was the heart and soul of the soccer team. Nice young man. I got a chance to talk to before the game.
Soccer's a sport near and dear to your heart, huh?
Yeah, very much. I played it for many years, and I was fortunate to play a couple years at Hartford Community College. I didn't get a chance to do my 4-year school playing because back then I was had to work my way through college kind of young man, and by the time I got to Towson, the coach said, "You're going to play for me." It was too late. But it made me a better coach, Dan. It helped me get a lot of my athletes into college. And
that's what it's all about, right? Getting your athletes to get an opportunity at that next level. With me doing my girls club lacrosse and being the director of college recruiting, it's all about trying to find that next avenue for your young athletes. Call third strike.
Yeah, so that was he kind of froze the batter there.
Cam's a tough looking left-hander. He kind of comes from the side. I wouldn't want to be a lefty trying to face him.
So at the end of that inning, we had 2 runs for Edgewood with 2 hits and a runner left on base. Could have been a 3-run inning, so we'll see how impactful that is later.
Oh yeah, you got to get every run that you can get in baseball.
Well, I'll tell you another thing, Dan. I'm not trying to be Bob Turk here, being a weatherman, but based on a little of the forecast and the skies, it's going from, we have clouds, we have sun off to the right. Looks beautiful if you look off to the right, Dan, but if you look off to the left, it doesn't look so good.
You got wind, a little bit of wind chill.
Yes. So runs early could be impactful because if they don't get through 7 innings, it's very important that you get those early runs.
Exactly.
Now, I will tell you what I learned from my broadcast partner, Patrick Smears, in the Patterson Mill Bel Air game we did. I'm going to be like guesstimating here. But from what I remember him telling me, the rules now, Dan, are if you pitch 105 pitches, you can't pitch for like 5 days, and 105 or more. Another magic number is 60, and if you pitch 60 or more, you have to rest X amount of days, 2 or 3. And if you pitch more than 30, you have to have 1 rest day. If you pitch less than 30, coach can bring you out tomorrow for another game.
Okay. I mean, Ray, it's all about, player safety. I've, played this game at the collegiate level. I can't tell you how many of our pitchers, with a little bit more overuse that went down with, elbow problems, shoulder problems, Tommy John surgeries. It's sometimes you got to protect these young athletes from themselves and from the coaches.
Max Owings is a junior third baseman at the plate, and he hits that ball solid.
Left fielder's having a little difficulty.
Yep. And you know what? They say that's the toughest ball, right at you.
Well, I was kind of, with the wind, it was kind of tailing away from him.
So we refer to the pitchers and how much they throw. One of the Oriole announcers, a good baseball player for the Orioles, Ben McDonald, he supposedly was going to have like a star career. But the college level, they used him so much. Like he pitched 150 LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah, and I think he led
baseball
them to
powerhouse.
I think he led them to a baseball World Series win, but he would pitch all the time, and like 105 pitches would have been nothing. So yes, you're right. And my brother's a ball player, and I have a lot of friends that played. You don't want to ruin their arms.
And it's with young kids throwing curveballs and junk at earlier ages. It puts a lot of stress and torque on a young man's elbow.
So we are in foul territory danger here a little bit, Dan. So I'm going to say you have to. I'm the bailout person, and you have to rescue me.
I got you.
I said that to Barb, and she said, "I don't have a glove." I'm like, "I don't care. You're the ball player. I'm not." I tried baseball for 2 years, Dan, and my dad said I was pretty good, but I was the hyper soccer player, runner, kid. I liked the faster sports.
Okay. Yeah, so, we lose a little dribbler in front of the mound. Pitcher grabs it over to first for the first out.
That was smart. The base runner ran on Max ran on contact there. That was James Brewster with the ground out. But now you have a runner on third and 1 out. So as a coach and a batter, you got to make contact. Anything but a strikeout or a pop up to the infield is what you want here. Correct.
Yeah, preferably drive it to the outfield. Runner will tag and score.
I see Edgewood creeping in a little bit more, but they're still not coming way in either on this man on third, less than 2 out situation.
No, again, early innings, we'll take our chances and maybe creep up the third and first, but we'll take our chances.
And he got a long fly ball. Now, this is foul territory, but if he catches this, he's going to tag.
We couldn't see. We're a little obstructed right there.
Yeah,
but
that ball was, I think it just dropped in. That's another no man's land. You'll see the second baseman, first baseman, and right fielder all sometime converge on that ball over that way.
Second baseman's, kind of should be the one.
They have a better angle, don't they?
That better angle for that. But the right fielder, he's coming in on the ball. He's got to tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah. So that's straight up in the infield. Let's see if our good job by our third baseman there. That was Ilian Ortiz. And I thank you for the fans for calling out his name, so I now know how to pronounce it.
Again, the wind's playing a little bit of tricks on the on little fly balls.
Mm-hmm. So now we have Tyler Stevens up.
Two down.
Freshman starting on the varsity is playing an important position, shortstop. That's impressive.
Yeah, one of the again talking with the coach earlier. He's been very impressive, and their strength of their ball club is up the middle with their freshman shortstop and their senior center fielder.
That's straight up. Runner should just go because there's 2 outs.
Yep.
And we called it.
Shortstop taking control of the and calling off the second baseman.
So we leave a runner stranded there. So we had no runs. We have 1 hit and 1 left on. And we are coming to the bottom of the second inning here, folks. Now, I'm going to just tell you, Dan, I was invited on to my varsity as a freshman for soccer, and I had just sprained my ankle, and I was going to be down for half a week or a week. And I made the mistake of saying no because I was afraid, oh, God, me playing against those big seniors and whatever. And then I regretted it because our JV soccer team went 0-9-3. And we scored more goals against ourselves than we scored against the other team. But I played as a sophomore, and even then it was slightly intimidating because boys generally have big growth spurts between sophomore and junior years. And I did run varsity track as a freshman, but back to that gentleman, that young man, that can be intimidating.
Oh, definitely.
Being a varsity around juniors and seniors, and, are they going to accept you? Are they not? Luckily for me, I had older siblings, and a lot of people knew me, so.
Plus, if you can play.
Yes. So once I made varsity the next year and I started, they were like, okay. I mean, they always give you the kind of freshman, sophomore grilling early. You're going to get that. So if anybody has to go get the ball out of the mud, it's you.
Or you got to carry the ball bag, or you got to carry the bat bag.
Yes.
You get a little grunt work.
Yes, they definitely do all that. When I coached varsity girls soccer at North Hartford, they waited for the first really good rain in the mud, and the freshmen did not know anything about it, and they were like, Coach Ray, do not warn them, please. We had to go through this. So they threw the girls in the mud puddle and rolled them around a little bit, and that was their freshman initiation.
We used to have, when it was raining, we think we'd get especially in college, you think you get the day off because of the rain. We used to have sliding practice.
Right. That was
ground
a nice
ball to short.
Ball. Let's see what he gets here. Nice calm play. So that was Brian Guerrero with ground ball. Hit the ball well, but our shortstop
made a nice play on that.
I think that's Tyler Stevens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. A young freshman.
Freshman.
Pretty fundamentally sound there too, Ray.
Yep.
Great position to field the ball with a pretty lively arm and get it over to first base.
That was a strike on the outside. So I was talking to Barb on Monday, and we were saying that the best kind of umpiring you get is consistency. So some people will say there is a clear box from the knees to a certain part of the chest, lower chest, and right to the left and right of the line on the bottom. But that's not exactly how all umpires call it.
No. Sometimes they'll give you the black. Sometimes they won't give you the black.
Yep. And some of them prefer the inside compared to the outside.
Yep. Some like low, some like high.
Yeah.
So it's the first few innings, especially the guys at the top of the order, want to take pitches.
Yes.
So it kind of A, you can see what the pitcher's throwing, and B, you can see what what kind of strikes and balls the umpire's calling.
So the 3 most important people, that was a walk for Ian Ferguson. The 3 most important people in that situation, Dan, are the catcher, pitcher, and the coach. So you're learning what the umpire strike zone is.
Mm-hmm.
So
also the batters too, because
no, and that's where I'm including the coach because the players relay the information. man, they're calling the pitch 4 inches off the plate a strike.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah, that
learn
reverberates up and down the bench.
Yes.
As soon as you your leadoff hitter's up, everybody kind of gravitates to him. What is he throwing? What's the umpire calling? Is he calling it a high strike? Is he calling ball? And you just kind of adjust from there.
So in my last baseball game, there was 4 pitchers that came into the game, 2 from each team, and one of the pitchers took advantage of it the most. They realized that the umpire liked the
Smart player.
yes, and he kept throwing curveballs on the outside of the plate, and they would end up a foot off the plate, but the batters were swinging at them because they felt like they had to protect. So right now we have Kyle Peretti up to bat, and he's a senior second baseman.
Lefty on lefty here, and this is, again, with the way Tressler's throwing.
Actually, I have one batter off here. This is Devin Molina is our right fielder, so I must have missed the batter. Okay.
Okay.
So is that number 8 on first base for us over there, the batter?
Can't see really right from our vantage point.
So according to what I have, our leadoff batter, Gabe Zell, is back up to bat.
Correct. And again, Tressler's I would not want to face him as a left-handed hitter. He kind of comes from the side a little bit.
So number 8 is on first base. So that is Kyle Peretti that had the walk. So I'll have to see here in my scorekeeping what I missed here.
Checking his runner at first. Nice.
That's a nice hit ball.
And that's tailing away from the center fielder.
So
we'll stop at second base.
Yeah, he circled the base and he thought about it, but
didn't get a real good jump on the off the barrel.
So that was Gabe Zell's second single. Scored the first run of the game. So now we're bringing up Andrew Mathias again, and he had a nice double last time. I mean,
he really crushed that pitch in the first inning.
Well, I almost want to say, if the ground was harder and not wet, the way he hit that first double in the first inning, that ball could have rolled more, and it could have been a triple, or back in the old days when we didn't have all these fences, maybe even a home run.
Just keep running.
Yeah, that's when the speed paid off. I have friends and family that played, and they said there's advantages and disadvantages. They're like, some of the balls I hit could have gone over a fence, but I definitely wouldn't have gotten some of the triples and home runs I got when I was able just to let the ball keep rolling.
Yeah, I was a line drive hitter and just put them in the gaps and just keep running.
That's when you, we didn't have as good facilities back then, folks, and sometimes the ball would even go over a hill.
Ground ball to short. Nice play by the shortstop.
Just got him. That was the second time our shortstops made a really calm play. So ground
again,
out there.
That's freshman Tyler Stevens, looking really good at the shortstop position. You can see why the coach singled him out earlier in the game.
So no runs that inning, and we have runner
Two left
on base. If you can get a chance here, Dan, see what I missed here in my scorebook here. I obviously missed somebody having an at-bat.
Yeah, I missed the right fielder.
You know what I think I missed? I think Brian Guerrero had the last out of the last inning. And then Ian.
I think Ian had the strikeout of the last inning.
You think he was up this inning here for sure.
Our scorekeeping leaves a little bit to be desired.
I'm almost thinking they made the order that they gave us might not be the order that they're playing in right now. So we'll figure this out, folks, the next time through the lineup. Sometimes they do change things at the last minute, and we're not notified.
I mean, the umpire doesn't come over to us with the lineup card?
No, we're not that important, Dan. That could have been what happened, folks. We will figure it out the next time to line up. Sometimes they make changes at the last minute, and they notify the umpire. But
don't give us the update.
No. So I think
So Edgewood's looked pretty good here in the first couple innings.
they put runners on. They would have liked to have gotten more out of that. And we'll see what happens here with the wind and how this affects the game. I have Ryan Miller coming up here for leading off the top of the third inning here. And he's a sophomore, and he's playing right field.
Yep.
So you have two sophomores and a freshman starting for Joppatowne at the bottom of their lineup.
Yeah, the coach said, you know, they're pretty evenly distributed through the classes, but their young players are very talented, especially his young shortstop Tyler Stevens.
So what happens on these smaller schools, Dan, is you have, you know, you don't have as many athletes. You're talking about the difference of possibly a Bel Air or Seamount Wright having twice as many student body in a school.
Yep.
And that really matters, and that's why the bigger schools can often let the players develop on JV a little bit more.
Yes.
And these smaller schools, they need the athletes, the best athletes on the varsity. Was that look like a curveball, Dan?
Yeah, it was a curveball. Nice curveball.
And then he goes high on the strike zone. Error on the throwdown.
Nice little banter between the catcher and the third baseman.
Well, Dan, it's fairness to the third baseman. He threw him a sinker.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest throw in the world, but
He threw him a changeup or a sinker, and he was like, I wasn't ready for that. Throw a fastball.
threw him a BB though.
Yes, he did. Oh, got to duck out of the way for that one. This is Isaiah Robinson, our second sophomore, playing second base.
Another breaking pitch.
Wow. That really threw him off.
Looked like he changed speeds on that.
Well, what he did the last at bat is he changed speeds twice, and then he went with another one. Then he
called second strike there.
Yeah, and then he threw a high heat and threw him off because both of the pitches kind of blooped in, and then he put a fastball at the same trajectory.
Ooh, called.
And now we have a high.
We were going to get that connection before the end of the game between the catcher and the third baseman. That one sailed a little bit on him.
So at the end of the game, you know, if we were able to do an interview, we interviewed Ilian Ortiz. We were like, so what were your toughest plays of the game? He'll be like the throwdowns for my catcher. He's keeping me alive over here.
He's getting his breaking pitch over. Nice little off-speed pitch.
Yes.
Definitely getting his breaking pitch over.
It sets up the high fastball when he's ready for it, because then they're thinking breaking pitch. That ball is straight up. So is our pitcher going to call that one?
Yep.
You got it.
Again, struggle with the wind a little bit. That ball gets up in the air, and the wind plays little tricks on it.
So that was a very clean inning. No runs, no hits, no one left on base. So far,
2-0.
The Edgewood pitcher has only given up one hit, one base runner through 3 at-bats for the opponent.
Yep.
So now we're going to go to the bottom of the third inning. This game's moving along pretty quick, folks. Not a whole lot of base runners. Now, what you'll see later on in the game, Dan, is pitching depth. So,
well, pitching, according to the Edgewood coach, has been their struggle.
Right.
And also they have, multiple. They have 4 games this week.
Okay, I was just going to ask you, and that's the thing I was going to bring up is this is the time of the year where you've had to deal with rainouts and makeups. They're getting ready to go in the regional soon, and
that'll definitely challenge your pitching staff right there. 4 games in a week.
But I will tell you this: for Edgewood High School, haven't had their first win this year yet. They are going to try. This is a rivalry game.
Okay.
Edgewood, Joppatowne are rivals.
Right.
So if this pitcher is doing the job that I think he's doing, they may pitch him his 105 pitches this game, or they might stick with him as long as he can. I know when I grew up, Edgewood and Joppatowne love to beat each other. Okay. So I could see the coach saying, you know, we're doing a good job, we're winning. We're going to ride him as long as we can without hurting him, you know, and if he has to pitch all 7 innings, and he might be able to because he's not throwing a lot of pitches.
Yeah, he's not throwing a lot of pitches. and he's he's locating his fastball well, and he's getting his curveball over. So it's a little challenging right now for the hitters of Joppatowne.
So now we have our third batter up here again, Ilian Ortiz, for the second time. And it's a low pitch there.
Dressler's still throwing smoke. I mean, he's tough to locate the ball coming out of his hand.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
As that swing indicates.
So one thing I
Swung
like to watch, Dan, is different pitchers have different routines. Some of them take the ball out of their glove. That's hit really well. That should go.
Up.
Nice cutoff, though. Can he hold him to a single?
Yes, he did.
That was a great play by our center fielder, Ian Norman.
Yep, Ian Newman.
And he's
got some nice speed and got a nice jump on the ball, because that thing was actually tailing away from him, too. He got a nice jump and cut it off and held him to a single.
That's hit, too. It's through.
By the second baseman.
So that first single was Ilian Ortiz, and the second one was by Matthew Murdoch. So we have runners on first and second with nobody out. Bottom of the third inning here. So you're getting to your number 5 batter here, which I would think would be one of your better batters. This is Joel Agbesi. And will he want to move him over, or will he let him swing away?
No, I think and a little bit more of an advanced, maybe in college, what you're going to look to do is to try to drive the ball to right field. Okay. Catcher took the foul ball for that one.
So I did see in our last game, I saw a few bunts, and then in our softball game, we saw about 5 really well-designed bunts. But
that's a lost art anymore, right?
Well, in the pros, you're right. And Tim Lindenkamp and I were saying that before they changed the rule and disallowed the shift, how left-handed batters couldn't bunt the ball down the left field, down third base line, when there was not even anybody on the left side of the infield or the outfield, drove us old guys crazy. We were like, everybody should be able to bunt. And they're like, no, they're swinging for the fences these days.
Oh, it's all or nothing sometimes, right?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, again, a line drive kind of hitter with switch hitting from both sides of the plate. I was taught early how to bunt and drag bunts for left-handers, trying to push it by the pitcher on the right-hand side or throwing it down to the.
So we have a wild pitch here, and he's still going to throw home. And,
overthrew
away.
Overthrew third base, but not going anywhere.
That was a great backup.
It was.
We had our shortstop and our left fielder over there backing up. So now both runners have to be ready again, because you've seen a wild pitch once. And this backstop is not right on top of the players for a high school facility. And by the way, what beautiful facilities down here at Edgewood High School. This baseball field is.
Ooh, didn't like that call. He threw the bat. He was heading for first base.
Yes, he was. You do not want to show the umpire up.
Oh, that's a big time no.
Don't get mad at him, Ump. He's a nice young man. I met him. He's a very nice guy.
Okay, now you can throw that.
Now you get to do it. So now we have bases loaded. Nobody out. In a 2-0 game, this is big. I mean, if they can get a big, as they say sometimes, put up a crooked number, and need to get more than one run in this situation.
Oh, definitely, with no outs. Gonna have to try to drive the ball here.
So that was a nice snag by our catcher there, Philip Healy. That could have easily been a pass ball.
Kessler's getting a little wild out there right now, right?
Mm-hmm. So most of the wild ones have seemed to be on the outside of the plate.
Yeah, he's not following through, and he's not rotating his hips and getting his hips square to the home plate.
So this is very smart coaching here by our Joppatowne coach,
Justin Carrassa.
coming out and getting the team under control, the pitcher calm. And now you're talking about what are you going to do? Now, we talked before about when do you move in infielders and stuff. You have two choices here. You move the outside infielders in, first base and third base, and you have the play at the plate. But
or you can take your corner infielders in.
That's what I meant.
Take them
first
in,
and third, yes.
And then your middle infielders play for double play depth.
Right. And double plays are not easy to come by in high school baseball, and it depends on the speed of the batter, obviously. But
their shortstop is Tyler Stevens. Has shown some nice moves out there, and so I think he could definitely complete the double play at the turn.
That ball is driven. That is just over
the right fielder's head.
So this should
one run scores. Two runs score. Cruising into second base with a double.
So that was Brian Guerrero with the double, 2 RBIs. And we have 2 more runs score here, and we now have a 4-0 game for Edgewood. So now we have Ian Ferguson coming up, the pitcher, getting a chance to help himself out here.
Yeah, with 2 runners in scoring position, second and third.
Now let me see if I have this number right now, Dan. Is it 16 there? 10.
10.
Okay. Got to work on my own handwriting, folks.
That's Ian.
My wife tells me that,
you could be a doctor.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll come back with that next time.
Yeah, I write like a doctor.
Or a professional ball player, right? I mean, how many autographs did you get as a little boy, and then you look at it later and you're like,
I can't understand what the heck it is.
That's a
ground ball back to the pitcher. Held.
You got him. Oh, what's the runner there doing? Okay.
Well, ran themselves right out of an inning.
Yes. Yeah, I think the runner coming around third did not realize there was how many outs there were. Might have thought that was the third out, but I don't know why he would have thought that.
All started with the runner on third.
Yes.
It's got to get through that infield with the amount of outs there were. Pitcher knocks it down.
Yeah.
The runner on second actually took off went to third, and the runner at third
had to come home.
Yep. And then he overran third, and then the catcher ran down and tugged him out. Not the greatest base running exhibition right there.
So we now have Kyle Peretti up, if I'm going to be correct this time. Number 8, yes?
Yes.
And
Kyle's a senior. Heading to Stevenson.
So could have been a big inning there, Dan. Could have been a really big inning.
Exactly.
And now
called third strike.
They got out of it.
Ran themselves right out of an inning. But they did get 2 runs in the inning.
So what happened there was the Joppatowne coach went out there and he said, when he hits this ground ball to you and both runners run,
yeah, we're going to get a double play out of it.
We're going to get a 2 tag out double play.
Not exactly your traditional double play there, but.
So what I have here that inning, Dan, is I have 3 hits, 2 runs, and 1 left on because of the unorthodox
base running
situation there. So that's experience, and the coaches will teach them. They will talk to them. And I see the coaches talking now. It looks like the head coach is talking to one of the base coaches and saying what we should have done there. And, we don't know what happened there. If the third base coach said, stop, to the second runner coming around and they didn't listen, I mean, you and I have both coached before and had our athletes not listen to us.
No, that never happens, Ray. Whatever you say is gospel. They're just going to stop in their tracks. Again, I think it all started with the runner on third.
Yeah.
Coming back, ground ball back to the pitcher. He broke.
Right.
And he was in no man's land there. So he threw it to the catcher who ran down and tugged him out. And then the runner coming from second overran third, and the catcher ran down and tugged him out.
I'm going to give Ian Ferguson a lot of credit for that. I don't know if you noticed it. he did a very savvy thing. He looked at the runner, then he turned and faced first like he was going to throw to first.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And he kind of duped him. And then he turned around and was like, gotcha. You know.
Good point.
My father was an outstanding baseball player, and he's played senior softball, and he was in the senior softball. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best players ever in the country.
Awesome.
And, you know, like a lot of us, I like to ask for some stories. And him and my uncle were outstanding. The story is my uncle would have been pro level if he didn't get drafted and have to go into the war. So I said, Dad, what was your favorite hit or play ever? He goes, it had nothing to do with hitting. It was, I faked the guy out. He said, the pitcher threw down to third, and he was a third baseman, and he wasn't going to get the guy, and he did the turn around and pretend like he missed the ball.
Okay.
And he started running down the third base line down the outfield like he was chasing the ball. And then the runner turned around and started jogging home because they thought it was wildly thrown down the line. It was in my dad's glove.
We've done that. We've done that at Temple too. You know.
Did you really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretend like the throw got through us and start chasing it into the outfield.
Yep. So now we have, it looks like we have Philip Healy up and leading off the top of the fourth inning here. And we have a 4-0 game according to my math. We don't.
Yep.
I don't see a scoreboard here, Dan, unless it's out of my view.
No scoreboard.
That's a odd hit ball. Let's see what that does. Yep. So as soon as I saw that ball, and you said you played some infield.
Oh yeah, I was the shortstop, second baseman.
That ball looked like it came on the lower part of the bat, and it looked like it had some spin on it.
It definitely had some spin on it.
So I'm giving Philip a single for that one because.
Well, you're charitable.
Well, no, because I saw how fast he was down the line, and even that ball was like softly hit. So it would have taken a really good throw right away on the first pickup of the ball. But then once it was bobbled a little bit.
Well, you're going to be the official scorer, but I'd have given him an E on that one.
I'm being nice. These are high school kids. I'm being nice. He would have had to grab that on the first pickup and fired it over. It would have been a bang-bang play. So once he bobbled it once.
Ray, I'm a middle infielder, and I'll give, you know, the deference to a middle infielder, but not on that one.
Okay, this is a tough one. Just got by the pitcher.
Okay, still has time.
Wow.
Made a
Way
nice
to stay
play.
with it. Way to stay with it.
Didn't give up on the ball. Nice job.
And what a great snag by our first baseman, Matthew Murdoch. I mean, that ball was kind of inside the bag there a little bit. He had to reach out, keep his foot on the base.
And the throw was kind of towards the home plate, and the runners coming at him.
So that was Max Owings, and that could have been a big play if he doesn't pick that up. So now we have James Brewster coming up for his second at bat. He grounded out the first time he was up.
They're having some trouble with his his breaking pitch.
Yes.
Either they're not picking up the rotation.
Well, you said the coach said that this is a very inexperienced team. So, you know, there's a lot of learning going on this year, and maybe the pitchers, you know, figuring a few things out late. Now, that's a high ball, and that's going to be
fall
in there. And smartly, the Joppatowne runner was running on contact because there was 2 outs. So we're going to say that's a RBI for James Brewster. So we got a 4-1 game now, folks.
Right fielder couldn't really pick up the ball, and it kind of fell in front of him. Nice job by the base runner.
That would have been I don't think he really had a chance here. That ball just didn't have enough power on it to get out to him.
And again, with the wind kind of knocked it down too.
Yep, so we got a foul ball there. Now, I always tell my runners to run the second on that just in case. You know, I was watching the game last night, and they said the Oriole batter fouled the ball when they went to check their swing. And, you know, umpires can make mistakes too. And
no way. Come on, Blue? No way.
It missed the bat by like 4 inches. But runners on the base should have moved up just in case they would have overruled it. Yeah,
We don't have instant replay here?
No, we do
have replay.
We have ours, but we cannot do the challenge call to New York City to the home office. So Ian is popped out the first inning. We have 2 outs here, 1-on, 2-on. I'm sorry. No, one came in. One came in. Yeah. So that's going to be a base hit. That's got to be a base hit.
Yeah, that's.
And that's smart for a third baseman not to throw.
Yeah, because both him chasing the ball for the ground ball coming in, and the shortstop didn't cover third.
Right.
So, he throws it to first base. The guy on second takes off for third because there's nobody covering.
Yep. So now we have 2-on, 2 out in the top of the 4th inning here, folks. And we've got Tyler Stevens up, our freshman, one of our freshmen on these 2 teams.
He's a good-looking young player. Taking down the signs, looking down to his third base coach, his head coach.
Now we got some real nice sunshine, Dan, so it's going to be tough for one of the fielders.
Again, here's another little dribbler.
A swinging bunt. That's unlucky there. Our pitcher.
Well, it all depends on who you're rooting for there.
Yeah, Joppatowne's loving it, but for our pitcher, Ian Ferguson, he is not doing much wrong, and.
Yeah, they're not exactly ripping the cover off the ball. The last few hits have not been exactly barreled up.
Yeah, bloop in front of the shortstop.
Oh,
now that's
in the gap.
That's going to score at least 2.
Yep.
2-run score.
Now that one was barreled up.
Yeah, that was struck well. That was Ryan Miller. I think hit that one. Or no, that was. Let me see who we got here.
Still having trouble with his breaking pitch. They're not really being able to pick up rotation, or when they do hit it, it's those little dribblers. There's another one. Third baseman comes in, nice scoop. Throw it a little wide of first. We have a run scored. Got to be an error on our third baseman.
So that was Isaiah up there, and you would call that one an error?
Yeah, throw was a little wide. So now we got a tie game, Ray, 4-4.
Yeah, we're back to the top of the lineup here. They have batted around this inning. So Daniel Rose is up. And we have a man on first and third. Good job by the catcher. But this is the good luck, bad luck thing I was talking about. So you can have an inning where you can barrel up 5 balls and 2 of them are hits and 3 of them are right at somebody. And then you have the other team get
2 dribblers.
Yeah, and a little bloop to short. Yeah. Now not to discredit Joppatowne, they've hit a couple of balls this inning really well.
Yep.
So, I mean, they've had singles that could have been doubles, but the outfielders cut them off well. So we got ourselves.
Oh, that's coming back towards us. No, we're good, right? Okay. I got you. Remember?
I took my eye off of that one, and I didn't lift my head up to see if it was coming right at my noggin or not.
Don't worry, I got you, Ray. It was back towards us, but it wasn't at us.
Right. Okay.
Called third strike.
Strike.
Batter was not particularly happy with that call.
No. So in that inning, I have five hits. 4 runs, 5 hits, and I think they left 2 on.
Yes.
So we are now 4-4 here, folks, going into the bottom of the 4th inning here. And I know the Edgewood coach wasn't pleased with the base running of that last inning because that's the difference of this game.
Yeah, they ran him right out of the inning. If you take a look at the way the catcher caught that last one, it's so advanced now the way catchers can frame balls,
right? And
kind of put the okey doke on the umpire. Just the way they can bring balls back into the strike zone. It was a nice job by the catcher right there, framing the ball, give the umpire a good look on that.
Yeah, Adley Rutschman's great at that for the Orioles. He helps his pitchers out a lot. And I won't name the names of some of the previous catchers they have, but there's a term that I've heard in baseball, where it's called boxing the pitch. So you don't want to catch a ball and then follow through with your glove out of the strike zone.
No, you try to bring him,
Get
back.
there and bring it back
It's
in.
called framing.
Yeah, so framing, you just go out and get it pulled in a couple inches. But I will tell you, umpires don't like it when you over-frame.
No, because then you're showing them off.
Yes, then they're like, okay, no, dude, I'll give you the other one, but I'm not giving you that one. You brought that pitch back 5 inches.
Umpires are sensitive creatures.
Well, and I wasn't able to get the umpires' names today, but I always have much respect to the umpires.
Special place in heaven for referees, umpires.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the things that they have to call.
And the things that they have to endure.
Yes. But they say you can't have rabbit ears because you're going to get some chirping. Like you have a nice shot at the bench here, and you got the Edgewood coaching staff talking to their players. And the reason we have a little bit of an extra break here is it looks like we have a new pitcher here, Dan.
Yep.
Get the number here.
23.
23 for Joppatowne. So we did not get the Joppatowne bench. So
some of the information that we got was kind of last minute.
Yes.
And we did not get all of the numbers.
So Dan's going to go get the name of the Joppatowne pitcher. And he might want to take his scorebook there with him and get the bench because we will see some changes coming. So now we have, in the bottom of the 4th inning, Joppatowne had that 4-run inning. So now Edgewood is tied up, and they'd like to retake the lead again here. And I have Devin Molina, the senior right fielder for Edgewood, coming to the plate. Struck out last at bat. And I don't even know if you folks can hear this or not, but you have music, walk-up batter. They have walk-up music just like they do in the pros, which is kind of cool. So just say that name for me here, and I'll write it down in my scorebook, Dan. So we got
number 23, Max Owings, throwing for Joppatowne now.
So Max was on third base. So let's see what other moves that they made. See where Cameron Tressler went and who's at third.
Max is making the catcher's glove pop. Max is 3-1 on the year with 35 Ks and a sparkling ERA of 2.93.
Wow. Gets a strikeout for first batter. And I'm going to try to get the number here on third base. We have number 24. So I'm going to see if they've made. Sometimes, folks, they make a one-player move, and sometimes they make a multiplayer move.
Yeah, everybody shifts around.
So James Brewster was on first base, and he is now third base.
And it looks like Cam Tressler has gone from the mound to first base.
So we have a 3-position move there, folks. And that's the pitching depth we talked about, Dan. Is
well, the strength of Joppatowne is definitely their pitching staff.
Mm-hmm. That could make an impact in this game. Because Edgewood had the 4-0 lead, and it could have been more like 6 or 7. And they ran themselves out of a couple runs.
Right out of an inning.
And then Joppatowne comes back and answers with a 4-run. Partly hard hit ball, partly the gods of
baseball gods.
Swinging bunts is what they call them.
Pitcher won at that last pitch, not that one, but
and bounced that one in. So we've got our leadoff batter, Gabe Zell, here, and he's singled twice, Dan. He's had quite a game.
Pulled his head off of that one a little bit.
Mm-hmm. We either have a 3-2 or 2-2 count here, I think. I'm not sure.
Right back to the pitcher. That's the smart thing.
You know what happened there, Dan? The fans don't notice this. He had a hard time getting the ball out of his glove at first. So he started running over to the base, and then he finally got it out and scooped it to his first baseman. One of my favorite remember the old show, This Week in Baseball? Mel Allen or whatever the voice was, whoever he was. And they showed the bloopers, and they had the one where the pitcher fielded the ball and they couldn't get it through the whole glove. Threw the whole glove over there. I thought that's what our pitcher was going to have to do there for a second.
May not look pretty in the on the videotape,
Right.
but
It's still an out.
It's still an out.
So now we have our number 2 batter, James Mathias, up, who's
Nice pitch.
so it's a small world. My like I said, I worked with his mom, know his family.
You know everybody in Hartford County, don't you?
And then Priscilla told me that my wife taught her other son. So small world. That's one of the joys of going to these games, Dan, is I almost always run into people I know and brings back good memories. You know, you and I did that one lacrosse game, and you knew everybody there, and I knew most of the people. But I knew most of them for coaching the kids in other sports, and you knew most of them for lacrosse.
From lacrosse, yes. Well, you grew up in Hartford County. I grew up in the city of brotherly love.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm a transplant into Hartford County.
That's struck well, Val. I used to run around these fields. They weren't baseball fields then, and all the stuff that's here now wasn't here. And
Nice facilities.
I probably played in the woods here, and back when kids were just out all day, and you come home and your mom's like, "Why are you wet?" Well, there's a creek back there we found. Yeah. Let's see if we can finish him off here. That's high. So it's good eye by our batter. And I could be wrong here, Dan, but I think right behind the trees in the outfield here is the train tracks.
Can't tell right now. Oh yeah, you can kind of see some of the poles.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the spring foliage is out.
Well, this is definitely one of the very nice renovated schools. Edgewood school is beautiful inside and out. I'm very happy for the community here and the kids. And the school is no longer, like now they have all these programs.
Correct.
And I'm blanking on what the program here is at Edgewood, but not only do they have good Edgewood athletes, but they're getting some kids from around the county that come here. And big school now.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with the athletic facilities here.
Okay, that's up and out.
I lost that one.
So I'm going to tell you a funny story here, fans. Last game we did on Monday, a softball game, one of the Bel Air girls was up. And she had a foul ball, and it went back and hit her brother. And he wasn't expecting it, so he was okay, but his family was laughing at him. And
baseball, softball, you got to have your head. You got to have your head on a swivel. You got to know where the ball is at all times.
The girl was smiling, and the umpire said something to her, and she goes, "That was my brother. I hit my brother."
Oh.
Okay, ball 4.
That one got away from a little bit.
So 2 outs and 1 on. Yeah.
Now baseball players have to undress after either when they reach base. You know, they forearm shield off.
Yes.
The leg brace. I mean, we didn't have that back when I was playing ball.
You just got hit.
We had batting gloves. That was about it.
That's right.
That was high tech for us.
That's a nice pitch there. One of
brought some heat there.
My family laughs. You always hope to catch a foul ball in a game, and back in the 90s when the Orioles were really good, I got a foul ball from Leo Gomez, and everybody around me stood up and jumped, and I was the only one that sat down because I had a lap full of food. I caught the ball, and it landed in my nachos. And then the people around me said, "You didn't even try. Can I have that?" I'm like, "No."
That's my nachos on that ball.
Ruined my nachos, but
runner on first looks a little runnerish, if that's a term I can use.
So he does look like he wants to go, and
he's
the
taking
pitcher
a
is
pretty far lead.
He's going there, and he's in easy. He would have. If that ball would have been a fastball right down the middle, that would have been a stolen base.
he got a great jump. Again, I was kind of correct. He did look runnerish.
Yeah. I wasn't, like I said, I didn't have a great baseball career, and I moved on to other sports. But one of my favorite parts of the game, Dan, is the running game, the little ball game. And
I love small ball.
yes, I love small ball. I love to see the stolen base. I love the hit and run. I love the
Bunts and,
Bunts, yep.
and advancing the runner on second by hitting it to the right side of the infield.
So in the softball game we did on Monday, one team actually had 2 suicide squeeze in 1 inning.
Really?
Yes.
That's wild.
Scored them both. Very well executed.
We used to have a kangaroo court at Temple. So if you didn't execute, like taking a ball the other way with a man on second, you got fined.
Right. You had to put money in the jar, right?
Yeah, or like a quarter.
Yeah.
we were starving college athletes.
Well, the Orioles were famous for that, and Frank Robinson started it. And, yes, they did that stuff. Can't do that today.
No.
Today they'd be like, nah. I was trying to hit a home run.
That was a nice
That was a
breaking
very nice
pitch.
pitch. He froze him.
Yep.
So
We're tied up at 4.
we are going to the top of the 5th inning, folks. And at the end of 4 innings for Joppatowne, I have 4 runs and I have 6 hits and 3 left on. For Edgewood, that inning they had 1 walk, so they had 1 left on, but no hits and no runs. So at the end of 4 innings for Edgewood, I have 4 runs, 6 hits, and they have 5 left on.
Yep.
So they've had some more opportunities, but we talked about the running mistakes. And but now we got ourselves a ball game here. I mean, this should be interesting.
Yeah, Edgewood jumps out to the 4-zip lead, and then Joppatowne has that one big inning. And again, we keep harping on that one big inning that Edgewood could have had.
Yes.
But they ran themselves right out of the inning.
So I might have misspoke. It was the end of 4 innings here. So we've got 3 more at bats and 9 more outs for each team to try to get the runs here. And the umpires counting the amount of warm-up pitches the pitcher has here.
You know, those pitchers, they're sneaky. They'll try to get as many warm-up pitches as possible.
So now we're going to have Joppatowne, if I'm looking at this correctly, their number 2 batter should be coming up, Philip Healy.
The catcher behind the plate has got a cannon. He can't hit the third baseman, but he can throw down the second.
Isn't it? Have you ever been able to catch?
I have.
Probably didn't love it.
No.
No, that's another example of one of those positions that people hide from.
Tools of ignorance is the catching gear.
Well, we talked about goalkeeping in lacrosse and soccer. Here you go, nice ground ball.
Oh, nice play by the third baseman. Whoa.
Sail that ball. So they got the coaches telling them to stay there, so I'm going to call that an error.
There you go. There.
See, Dan, I can call an error. I'm not just all nice. I was a throwing error. I'll give it to him. So now we have our number 3 batter, Cameron Tressler, up and.
Any level of baseball, Ray, you cannot give the other team outs.
Yeah. Got a
Errors,
nice
walks,
sunny moment here, Dan. We got a lot of clouds in the sky, but the sun's peeking out between it the best it can.
Pulled out one foul.
So I also give credit to the coaches playing the lines there. Sometimes they get some hot smashes by them, and it could be a little bit intimidating.
There's a line drive into left field.
Got to keep that in front of them.
Everything's in front of him. Good job by the left
nice
fielder.
Nice single by Cameron Tressler. Now we have our cleanup hitter coming up.
First 2 batters reach base.
So Max Owing is up, and he had that double in the second inning. Really hit that
he barreled
ball
up. Yeah, he barreled up on that one. We didn't have terms like that when I was growing up. You hit it hard. Now we got velo, X. We got terms.
So let's see what's going on here.
Okay, we got a timeout.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to consider a pitching change here.
We used to have some interesting mound conversations in college when our college coach used to call timeout and everybody convenes at the pitcher's mound.
So you have the battle that goes on between the pitcher and the coach. sometimes the pitcher is like, Coach, I could do it. I got 2 more innings in me, or I'll get out of this. And sometimes the coach will say, but you've thrown 89 pitches, so your day's done.
So the best mound conversation I've ever been a part of, our pitcher was absolutely getting lit up.
Right.
So our coach runs out to the pitcher's mound. We all gather on the mound, and our coach says to the catcher, "How's he throwing?" And our catcher, without a beat, says, "I don't know. I ain't caught one yet." Everybody else on the mound broke up laughing. The pitcher did not appreciate the humor.
I was going to say, they did not like that.
Okay, we got a pitching change.
So it looks like number 7 is coming into the game for Edgewood.
Brian Guerrero.
And Brian was our shortstop.
Yep.
So let's see if our pitcher comes off the field and they bring somebody else back in the shortstop.
And again, you keep you got to be strong up the middle. And usually,
good shot of our coach.
You know, the shortstop usually pitches. The center fielder pitches. You know,
your more athletic positions are often.
And warming up, it looks like you can bring it a little bit.
So it does look like our pitcher went out to shortstop, doesn't it? I think that's him out there now. Can't tell.
No. He can bring it though. Warming up.
So our pitcher was number 10. Let's see where he went to. If he went off the field, is that 7 out there or 2, or not even either of them at shortstop?
It's like 3.
3. Okay, I can't tell yet.
Andrew Mathias. We're just trying to keep our papers from blowing all over the place.
Yeah. We got wind and sun now, folks.
And we still got clouds.
Yeah, but it's funny. You got some really dark clouds and you got some beautiful clouds. So hope those dark ones stay away from us.
This ball looks like, as he's warming up, it looks like he's got some nice movement on it.
Yeah. And again, we said that Brian Guerrero, who's now pitching, is young. He's only a freshman.
And whenever in college, new pitcher, of course we had the books on pitchers. So, exactly, what he likes to throw, when. And when he was warming up, everybody was at the top of the dugout watching him warm up.
I'd like to see where our pitcher went on the field, if he went off the field, or is that him over at second base? Possibly.
I can't tell where 10 went to. Where did Ian go to?
Looks like it could be.
I think he went to third. He's a third.
Okay.
Nice pitch.
So if Ian went to third, then our original third baseman was Ilian Ortiz. So I don't know where Ilian went to. So they may have done one of those 4 or 5-way switches here. And I've seen it.
Yep, in high schools, especially because your bench isn't that strong. You don't have a whole lot of kids. Do wholesale changes. And
you got 2-1. Ball's up and out of play.
Okay, there's something you don't see every day. Also, we got a left-handed second baseman.
Oh, that's cool.
Just for, double play purposes, it's usually
that's a tough situation.
A right-hander, yeah, he's got to turn the spin.
Trying to hold that runner on a second a little bit closer.
Nice block by the catcher there.
Yeah, that's Andrew Mathias, I think. But that could be different too, because we've had a 4 or 5 player switch here.
I think the catcher still. I think the catcher still stayed the same.
You wouldn't think that position would have as much flexibility to it, Dan. I mean, that's got him.
Swung right through that one.
That's a big pitch. That's a real big pitch.
One down.
2-1, nobody out, and they had just had that big inning, the inning before, so shut it down a little bit there. So now you've got James Brewster coming up. And James has a single in this game, an RBI. A little outside there.
Catcher's doing a nice job of blocking those low pitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how.
There's the runners going.
Double steal. So Brian Guerrero is. I can't imagine what he's going to be like by the time he's a senior. He's playing big positions, shortstop and pitcher as a freshman.
He's got a nice live arm. He's shortstop. That was coming back at us.
Yeah, it was. I was trying. I looked at that one to see if it was one of those kind that crawl over the fence and fall right on you. So here we go here. Runners on second and third. So Joppatowne could score a run here without even getting a hit. They can get a pop fly or outfield, and they can get a ground ball to the right side.
Ooh, you went.
You went, yeah.
2 down.
That was 2 important strikeouts there.
And for a team where pitching isn't exactly one of their strengths,
it's important.
Yeah, Brian Guerrero's come in and kind of quelled the rally. And Ian had a nice first few innings, too.
Yeah, Ian had some misfortune. If he didn't have 3 ground ball base hits that, might have been combined 15-mile-per-hour velocity.
Yeah, that wasn't going to break a pane. Some of those ground balls were not going to break a pane of glass.
No, not at all. But, that's where the good luck, bad luck comes in. We've seen some hard hit balls caught also.
Yeah, I've smoked some balls right at a third baseman, a shortstop, a center fielder.
That fouled off the catcher there. And coach asked him if he's good. It is not something that I would think feels too good.
Tools of ignorance.
Yeah.
You can tell the goalies by their bruises in lacrosse, and you can tell the catchers in baseball
Definitely.
with their bruises.
Big lead by the runner on second base. I mean, any single is going to score the runner from second base.
Plus, it's 2 down, so he better be running.
Yeah.
Crack at a bat, you're going.
Usually, unless it's a ground ball right at the third baseman. But, I mean, he's halfway to third, Dan. I mean, no, I'm looking at the wrong player here. No, he's standing. The runner on second is not getting a lead at all. So look where the second baseman and shortstop is. I would be going a good 5 yards off of his base because they're not even nearly trying to hold him on. Now, as I say that, the shortstop's sneaking behind him. Excuse my ignorance there, folks. Nice. I was thinking of the wrong team there. Umpires move around too. So what you see here is sometimes the field umpire will go behind first base. Sometimes they'll go on the left side of the field. Depends on where the runners are.
Correct.
And how many outs there are.
Yep.
So that's a ground ball. That should be an out at first.
Oh, there's a nice play by the first baseman.
Yeah. So what a great job of
Elian Ortiz with a nice pick at first base.
Yeah, and
our left-handed second baseman.
Brian Guerrero came in and got 3 up, 3 down with 2 runners on, no one out. So that was a very important moment there for the Edgewood team. So
he came in and shut the door.
We had 0 runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on. And now we come to the bottom of the 5th inning here. And let's see if we have the same pitcher here or a new pitcher. Nope, same pitcher that finished last inning. Max
Owings.
So this is shaping up to be a dramatic game one way or the other here. What team's going to get a walk-off or pull this game out in the last couple innings, or we could maybe see an extra inning game. That's when you really have to text.
Are we going to put a man on second?
No, I don't know. They had that rule in high school. They have it in softball.
Okay.
I found that out. And it's the international something rule. And
the Joppatowne catcher has not come out to warm up his pitcher. Okay, and here comes the coach out.
He must have been one of the recent batters. So.
Yeah, but usually one of your
a backup catcher.
Yeah. Comes in and warms up your pitcher.
It's funny you say that because the last game did with Tim Lindekamp for baseball, that exact scenario happened, Dan, and the backup catcher came out, and the pitcher threw harder than they had thrown all game. And the backup catcher looked at him like, dude, I don't have all the equipment on. You know, you can't throw 95 miles per hour when I don't have all my equipment on. Again, that's a position. I mean, I caught in slow pitch softball only because they're lobbing the ball in, and I did not have the skills to play in the field. But we haven't seen it happen today, but it's not only a tough position because you're squatting for 7 innings.
That's really tough on the knees.
Yes.
Although if you take a look at the catcher, he has some like pads behind his thighs.
Right.
That takes a little bit of pressure off your knees.
So again, another piece of equipment that we didn't have back in the day.
Nope.
But you know, even in slow pitch softball, I've been ran over and flattened at the plate before. And now they've changed the rules in baseball where you're not allowed to completely block the plate.
And you're not allowed to run over a catcher.
Right.
I was an ex-football player. I love those collisions. But they've outlawed them for, you know, safety reasons, and I definitely understand that.
Yeah, I got knocked out once, Dan. I'm not, no lie, I got knocked out once. And after everybody realized I came to, the center fielder, a friend of mine, said, I heard your teeth clank from center field. I was like, that's not good, is it? And they're like, no. But again, the skill to do these different positions.
Again, as a middle infielder and trying to complete a double play, the runner's mission was to take you out.
Yes, and now they can't. They can't come up with spikes up. They can't. You used to be able to slide 2 yards right and left of the base to impede the middle infielder, but now you're not allowed to.
My first collision double play, I got 7 stitches because I watched. And the guy came in, spikes up.
You enjoyed your own throw, right?
I did not enjoy getting stitched up afterwards.
No, not at all. So we got our number 4 batter here, Matthew Murdoch, up, and he had a single and a run his last at bat. So let's see what he can do here with the new pitcher. He hasn't faced this pitcher yet. That's up. Is that coming at us, Dan? I'll find out when it hits me in the head. I'll find out, right?
As long as it hits you in the head, Ray, you're going to be okay.
I don't got any hair on top of my head to cushion it, though. So I think we have a 2-strike count here. Now that's out of play to the left. Now you weren't going to get that one anyhow, but you see different stadiums designed different ways. So this fence goes straight down on both sidelines, baselines. At Aberdeen, they had an interesting fence down where it went out diagonal, and it gave the first and third baseman more room. Now that one's going to bring down rain. So
very nice play by the
third baseman.
Third baseman.
That should be if they've changed it.
That originally it was Max.
Right. So I'll tell you who our
24
current Joppatowne third baseman should be.
Again, we didn't get numbers.
James Brewster.
Okay.
Yes, he was first base.
That was a real nice play.
Yep. Okay, a little high.
Being a former shortstop, I would have waved off the third base.
Yeah, I thought that he had a better angle, but he was out there and he was ready, so he called it.
Yeah, it was a nice play. Nice pitch.
Nice pitch. Getting the called strike.
Wind, as you can tell by the wind in the microphone, it's still a little breezy out here.
Nice pitch again. This game is
moving right along.
Well, it was funny. We had a pitcher's duel going early on with the starters until each team's got some runs, and now we've got 2 relief pitchers who come in and have done a pretty good job, shut the other team down. So let's see how long they can pitch.
They're both bringing it with some nice velocity. Love to get a jugs gun out here and see how hard they're throwing. Throw a little breaking ball in there.
Yeah, that caught him off guard, didn't it?
Yep.
That was Joel Agbesi, who has
hips went, head went, everybody went.
So now we got Brian Guerrero up, our freshman shortstop turned to pitcher.
Yep.
And he's 1 for 2 with the double and 2 RBIs. So he's had the big hit of the day. Now he's got the game kind of on his arm a little bit too, going out and taking over the late innings. Good check.
Check swing. I don't know if the microphones can pick it up, but there's definitely chatter in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You're encouraging your pitcher. You're encouraging your hitter.
So nobody on 2 out. Trying to start a 2-out rally here.
4-4 in the bottom of the 5th.
Good eye, good eye. Kind of like to see what kind of speed Brian has if he gets on base.
He looks like an athlete. I bet.
Yeah.
I bet he can move, Ray.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing. Like in a tie game here in the bottom of the 5th inning, it could be something as simple as a steal and base hit to get you through.
Just try to get base runners now, and then then you can play small ball. Advance the runner, steal a base here.
Yep.
Pitcher shaking off the catcher.
Okay, he worked the walk.
Yep.
So now we get to see if you and I get rewarded for what we like to see and see some small ball. I mean, when I say small ball, you're not going to be bunting now
No.
for sacrifice, but if the third baseman is back far and you're a good bunter, you can bunt. But I want to see if we're going to get a stolen base attempt here for Brian. See what our new pitcher does for keeping the runner on.
And he's gone.
Oh, he went.
Oh,
that was an easy steal. Now, that's one where I would say I would have liked to seen the batter take the pitch.
Yeah.
Just let him get over there.
You may have a conversation with him after the game with that.
Yeah. Because you get him on second, then on any base hit, he's likely scoring.
Yep, with his speed and athleticism.
He didn't even have to. He wouldn't even have had to slide. He could have come in.
No, he had such a break on that.
He's watching the
And there he
pitcher's
goes.
motion. Now this one could be a play. Now I think he's.
Oh, he got him.
I thought
that was a heck of a tag.
I thought it was
the
in.
shortstop.
It was a great throw. And let's, I don't know. Let's see if the umpire had this one, but I thought he was safe.
You can't see from that angle.
Send it to New York, folks. We want to replay.
But that was a nice play by the shortstop on a. There's a better angle. Yeah, looks like he got him.
Yeah, I was wrong.
But there's your call to New York.
I would have been proven wrong, folks. I would have used up my challenge. The umpire was right on top of the play. So we just said how the previous swing, he would have stole the base easily on the pitcher. Pitcher did one throw over, did a better job of keeping him on. So a strange inning there, folks. Ian was at the bat. He will get to come back up and lead off the next inning again. Because the runner was thrown out.
The catcher Healy had wasn't the greatest throw in the world, but he got it out of his glove in a hurry.
Yes.
And it was a really nice tag by the young freshman shortstop.
So I have no hits and no runs at that point, and one left on. So at the end of 5 innings, we have Edgewood with 4 runs, and they've left on 6 runners, and they've had 6 hits.
Again, we're pointing to that, what was it, the second inning?
Yeah, the base running.
Yeah, they ran themselves out of an inning.
So Joppatowne at the end of 5, they have 4 runs also, and they have 7 hits, and they have 5 left on. So getting to be crunch time here, Dan. We got 4-4 game at the end of
2
5.
relievers in here.
Yeah.
Both of them are bringing it.
So I have the bottom of the order coming up here for Joppatowne. So let's see what they can do. So far, the bottom of the order is 1 for 5 with 1 on base from the error.
And how many times do you see a nice play in the field, and who comes up is the in the next inning the fielder who made the nice play?
Yep.
Which we got Tyler Stevens coming up, the young shortstop. I'm impressed with him.
He does look young, and it makes me feel old. I see these high school kids, and I think they look like they're in middle school, and especially the boys when they're behind the wheel driving. I'm like, what's that kid doing driving? They're not old enough looking. I guess it's jealousy on my part as I'm getting very old looking.
I'm sure when we were that age, people were saying the same thing about us.
Yes, they were. I was very small when I was in freshman in high school, and they wanted me to wrestle because I could actually wrestle in the 103 weight class if I wanted to. That's how small I was.
No, I was about maybe $120 as a freshman.
When I got to 145, I thought it was big.
Most of mine was ears.
The old saying, when you're going to grow into your ears, right? That should be, oh, that was close. I thought that ball was going to drop in there. Did you see that ball?
Yep.
I mean, that was like.
Again, we're talking about framing. I don't think the catcher framed that one real well.
All fine. So now we have worked the walk.
Okay. Again, one of the cardinal as an ex-baseball player, walks, errors kill you. You don't want to give up walks, and give the opposing team extra outs.
Letting people take the extra base when they shouldn't.
Oh, I'm
all those
a
little things.
Fundamental kind of guy.
Yes, me too.
And at one point in my career, I had the JV baseball team at a Catholic high school in Philly, and we just drilled fundamentals.
So that's a foul ball. Well, I've spent most of my life, as you know, in sports, Dan, and I know a lot of people in our community know me for that. And I've done a lot of camps and clinics, and I'm a retired physical education teacher. So I would do camps for elite athletes, and we'd be working on basics. And every once in a while, the smart mouth kid,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? Why are we doing this? So that was a strikeout of Ryan Miller. And I would say, well,
fundamentals.
We'll practice the difficult skills too, but if you can't do the fundamentals, you're not going to be successful.
Got to master the fundamentals before you can go on to the advanced skills.
That was close pitch.
A little low.
So I'm going to see here if Tyler thinks about running or not, but let's see what kind of lead he can get off.
First baseman doesn't even hold him.
Yeah. So a good shot of our pitcher there. Wow, nice pitch. So we got Isaiah Robinson up. And then we're back to the top of our order.
I don't know. I might think about sending him. He's not being held.
High pitch. So a big part of pitching, Dan, is your follow through and where your body comes to. And he looks like he's falling off the mound on some pitches and following towards the plate on others.
Yeah, it's all about kind of where you're landing and where your hips are. Sometimes you open your hips a little early.
That was nice.
And also the slot that you're throwing from.
So kudos to the grounds crew, whoever you are. It could be the AD, it could be other coaches, could be somebody else, but they had to work to get the fields in condition. We had some rain earlier today.
We've had some rain here for the last, it seems like we're in Seattle.
Yeah, that last weekend was pretty rainy.
Big lead over first.
Oh, I would think he's going soon. Nope.
Called strike 3.
Wow. So that's big. Now we're back up to our leadoff hitter, Daniel Rose, and
2 back-to-back strikeouts.
We got Zach Britton going against Mariano Rivera in this game right here, Coach. The bullpens have come in and done a good job.
Shut the door.
That's another thing about today's game, Dan. Like back in the old days, Jim Palmer and Cuellar and Seaver.
Four 20-game winners out of the same staff.
And you had
that's impressive.
You had pitchers that pitched.
Here he goes.
That's a slow ground ball. Let's see if he can get it over there in time, and he does.
Nice.
So you literally had starting pitchers, the best ones, had more complete games in 1 year than entire teams have right now.
Yeah, there was no such things as pitch counts.
right. So let's see this ground ball to the shortstop. Patiently waited for it. Threw it over. Nice chest high throw right to the first baseman.
Yep. Nicely done.
So imagine being a baseball player today, and it's happening in this game. You're playing 4 innings going against a starter. The Edgewood pitcher was putting some good junk in there, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his curveball was working.
And then all of a sudden they bring in this other guy, and he's throwing different and harder and higher and different types of pitches. And now you have to adjust to that. And then the other team's doing the same situation. And they have somebody come in, and they're throwing it in there hard. And now you have specialists in baseball at the higher level, college and pro, where a lefty will come in and pitch to 3 left-handed batters in a row. And then somebody else will come in for 1 batter. So it's tough adjustments for these batters.
The worst adjustment I ever had to face was a pitcher at Delaware threw a knuckleball. And he had decent control of it, but as the game went on, he started to lose control. So pitching change, and they brought in a guy who was throwing 95 miles an hour, going from a knuckleball to a guy throwing 95 miles an hour. It looked like he was throwing 112. We couldn't even see it. We heard it, but we couldn't see it.
So we got a big part of this game here, Dan. If Edgewood can get a run here and shut him down to just the bottom of the 6th, if they can get a run and get a shutdown inning, they can get their first win of the year.
Yeah. This does not look like a team, a 0-win team.
No, they've been impressive today, and I think that they're going to be much improved next year. They have a young team, and yes, they have some seniors on this team, but they also have some freshmen and juniors and so forth. So I think that this coaching staff will improve them.
Well, you got to give kudos to the coaching staff. 0 wins sometimes. To keep them focused and keep them all rowing in the same direction, to use a different sport analogy. But to try to keep everybody head in the game and trying to go for the win.
That should
nice
be.
rip.
That's in there. Now let's see if he cuts it off and holds him to 1. He does.
Nice play by the left fielder.
Now the left fielder seemed ready for that. You see how close to the line left fielder was playing.
So, I think that might have been a happenstance. I don't think there was a scouting report.
So maybe, what you don't know is I know sometimes coaches leave more room in the gaps and cut off the lines late inning in a close game.
Yep.
And they might have told them to cheat towards the line. But I'm also going to say that's a field condition thing too. If the ground is harder,
and the grass isn't as wet and thick.
Right. Then that ball is going to roll down that line because he hit that ball hard.
Yep.
Now let's see if he has a running game here for Ian while we have Kyle Peretti here at the bat. Kyle's walked and struck out so far this game.
Up on the count 2-0.
You really want to get this Ian over to second base here. I was ready. I was ready that time, Dan. If I had to be, I was ready. And by ready, I meant under the table.
Don't worry, Ray. I got you.
I was. People, you might have thought I was feigning bravery at first, but no, I was
ducking for cover.
That's right. I have a bag here next to me. I was going to put that on top of my head really quick.
Ooh.
He made him chase on that one. Kyle wishes he had a do-over on that one because he's got fooled in that one a little bit. It looked like some kind of a
breaking pitch.
Yeah. That ball started
on the middle of the plate and broke outside the strike zone and the plate. Nice location though.
So you see the new Oriole pitcher Cano?
Yep.
What is he throwing with that one pitch? It's like it's breaking across the plate like 2 feet. It's crazy.
Again, it's hard to hit another round object with another round object squarely when that round object is moving and curving and spinning.
So we got Devin Molina here, and he'd like to get this runner over one base or two.
A senior on senior day. Nice block by the catcher right there.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Again, you just try to get your body in front of that, sacrifice your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's Still doesn't feel good, even though you have that chest protector on.
No. Low.
2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So I haven't seen either team show a bunt game at all tonight, Dan. And, you know, that just might be a comfort thing. They might not feel real skilled at that.
Oh, there's a nice rep.
That should be in the gap, and that should get the runner to.
No, not running.
That wasn't. It seemed like some tentative running going on there, but we have 2 singles, and what bodes well for them now, Dan, is they're at the top of the order. So they're back to Gabe Zell, who singled. He's 2 for 3 and scored at least one of their runs.
I guess they didn't want to run themselves out of another inning, right?
That would have been a tough. That would have been a guaranteed to third, because I think they didn't know it was for sure from their angle. It was in the gap. He might have thought, if this ball holds up, I don't want to run into an out.
I am not a fan of the second baseman actually holding the runner on second.
With a left-handed batter on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can go play some games. You can go in, out, in, and then you can have the shortstop sneak in like he is right now behind him. But there's some games you can play with a runner on second. But as a left-handed hitter with a second baseman holding the runner on second.
Yeah, you don't want that second baseman breaking to the bag just when the batter hits a dribbler to the right side that just sneaks through. That's hit well, too. Let's see if the center fielder can come in and get that. Nope. It drops in. So they're just going to have the bases loaded, because in that case, I would definitely say that Ian, who's on third now, had to see if that would drop in.
You don't want to make that out.
So now you got your biggest chance of the game here for senior Andrew Mathias.
And the Edgewood bench is pretty excited about this on senior day, trying to get their first win.
Yeah. So right now you want to drive a ball to the outfield, like 2 times have happened in this inning, and it either drops in or you get a dribbler.
Oh,
and
they're coming home. Got the plate. Smart play by the first baseman.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That ball kind of squibbed off his bat there.
But Cam Tressler with a nice play, heady play, knowing where he needs to go with the ball. That's where a lot of baseball is. It's kind of mental. You know, you got to think ahead.
Yeah.
If the ball's hit to me, bases loaded, I'm the first baseman. Where am I going?
Yep.
You got to think all these things out and know where to go with the ball.
I would have maybe liked to see Andrew take a pitch or 2 there, but let's see. They could get out of this inning with 1.
Uh-oh, bad throw. Whoa.
Get back to third. So I couldn't clearly see that. I had thought our first baseman had caught that on 2 bounces.
No, he was actually off the bag.
Okay.
The throw pulled him off the bag.
So we have a run scored, and runners on bases loaded still.
Yes.
So they're up 5-4. They've taken the lead. So Edgewood would like to bust this game open right now. You know, with 2 outs, the runners are going to be running on contact, and 1 single here could easily score 2 runs.
Matthew Murdoch on senior day, being a senior.
Nice snag there by
the catcher.
Catcher there. That was good. So now we have. I think we have Matthew Murdoch up the plate.
Yep. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Matthew Murdoch, senior on senior day. Bases loaded. Bottom of 6. Really nice opportunity. Umpire called timeout. Don't know exactly what he's.
I think he's talking to a couple of fans about what they're saying down the first baseline past the bench. And he just told somebody to leave.
Oh, okay.
Excellent umpiring. I think they were maybe heckling the other team a little bit too much, and the umpire said, let's show some sportsmanship here. Good shot of the pitcher here. Big part of the game.
Oh, pulled that. Got all of it, but he hit it hard, but got a little ahead of it.
He almost hit the fan that was ejected.
I don't think they were actually ejected. They were just asked to leave the bench area.
Yes, gently asked to cheer from somewhere else. So right now, if the pitcher can get this out, he gives his team a chance.
Tried to come in with an off-speed breaking pitch. Brought it a little upstairs.
So the difference here with this 2-out bases loaded situation, Dan, is you literally have a chance
This is
for
clutch.
That is through.
Through. And here comes.
Let's see if he comes home. He bobbled the throw.
Nice.
Yes. Now, the third base coach almost hindered his own player. Did you see his player go all around him?
Yeah, you got to get out of the way.
I think the coach was so excited for the hit and 2 runs possible there.
Really clutch by Matthew Murdoch right there.
Yeah. So now we have another senior coming up, Joel Betsy, and Joel has literally he walked once, so he's been on base once out of 3 times. And with first and second here, now they're winning by 3 runs. Anything else is just gravy for Edgewood. They would like to add more.
Oh,
That's a C&A ball, but let's see calmly.
Nice play by the second baseman.
So now we've had a big inning for Edgewood. They got 3 runs, and according to my scorebook here, they had 5 hits in that inning. And they leave
3 runs, yeah.
They leave 2 on. So at the end of 6.5, here comes this shot. Ground balls on the right side.
Okay, you can't really see the runner running around.
Yep. They just
coach.
caught it. They just caught it. And I'm going to just be nice about this, Dan, and don't get mad at me for being nice again. But
it's not my strong suit.
I don't think the left fielder was going to throw him out anyhow.
He made a nice throw. He made a nice competitive throw.
He bobbled it slightly, but my point is the runner was really trucking. And except for the little detour around coach, I think the runner was going to score.
Took the path less traveled.
Yes. So at that inning, we literally, Edgewood almost doubled their hits. So they had 6 hits coming into that inning, and they got 5 more. So they were up to 11 hits, and they were up to 7 runs, and they left 2 runners on base. So now they are currently up to 8 left on base. So
again, one of the things that their coach talked about was, their struggle pitching, but clutch hitting with runners in scoring position and runners on base.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done run themselves out of an inning and left a number of runners on base.
So now Joppatowne has his hands full. They've got to get 3 runs. So it's not going to be easy. And they need base runners in any way.
And the young freshman, Brian Guerrero's throwing well out there. He doesn't look like a freshman compared to the Joppatowne shortstop freshman.
Mm-hmm. Joppatowne got 4 runs. At this point, you need base runners in any way. Walks, hits, hit by pitch, anything you can get.
Exactly. So kind of growing up through baseball, your first thing is you got to have this guy throw you a first strike. Mm-hmm. You're not swinging. You're just watching it and not doing absolutely anything until he throws you a strike. You need base runners. That's what you need.
So we got Philip Healy, and he needs to get on base.
Base runners at all costs. Until he throws you a strike, you're standing there looking pretty.
So Edgewood bench is kind of pumped right now.
A little bit more vociferous than the early innings. Ooh,
yeah.
So much for my, don't swing until they throw you. He wanted that one, check swing, but.
He looked like he brought it there. That looked pretty hard.
Yeah.
Outside.
I think he's throwing that last pitch. He overthrew that one a little bit. He wanted to bring it.
Well, looking at this from the other coaching box, Dan, you want to throw strikes. You don't want to put runners on base. Let your fielders behind you make the plays.
Yeah, right now, throw strikes. Up 1-2 on the count. Ooh. Oh, painted the corner.
Struck him out.
Struck him out looking.
It's a big moment for this freshman. He would not only get Edgewood's first win, but it would be his first career pitching victory.
Yep.
Because it was tied when he came in.
Cam Tressler now.
Cam's got 1 hit and 3 at-bats. He had a nice single last at-bat. He was our pitcher, then he moved to first base.
Throws left, but bats right.
Mm-hmm. I can't bat right or throw right, so.
Hard hit to the third baseman. Nice play.
Needs to calmly throw that.
Oh.
He had to come off the base. So I'm going to say on by an error there.
Yep.
So
Ian Ferguson made a nice play on the ball, but just was a little wide with the throw.
So I noticed something before with the position switches. I mean, when you have to get to your second and third position, you're not going to be as comfortable as you were in your number 1 position.
True.
So I've seen a few of the mistakes on both teams made by people in their second or third position.
Going.
Now, I'm a little surprised here, and he's safe.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, I'm still a little surprised down 3.
Yeah, you don't want to make your second out in that situation at second base, but worked out for them.
Now I'm going to put my coaching hat on, and this happened to Tim Lindekamp and I in the last game. We saw a pitcher get flustered with the runners on base.
Okay, yeah, that can take your concentration away from the hitter.
But right now, for the pitcher,
get your hitter.
Focus on the hitter. Focus on the hitter. They can't score 3. Now this could be tough. He broke back late.
Did not make the catch.
But he should keep a run from scoring.
That went further than I thought it was going.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit too.
Yeah.
He hit the fence, I think, there.
Good effort though.
So I'm going to piggyback on what I just said. The 2 runners on second and third, they can't beat you.
Nope, they don't matter.
It's the next 3 or 4 batters.
Exactly.
They have to score. So you're up by 3. So even if you get a ground ball right here and the runner breaks home, if it's a 50-50 play, I'm taking the out at first.
That's what the mindset everybody should have right now. In the infield, hit to me, I'm going to first base. Let's just get that second out. Nice little meeting of the minds on the pitcher's mound. Now in the majors, you have a limit to how many mound trips.
Yes, you do before you have to take him out. So now we have.
I was famous for running out there and talking to my pitcher.
James Brewster up. He's 1 for 3 also.
One of the fans echoing exactly what we said, Ray. Just take care of the hitter.
Good block by the pitcher.
One down. Runners on second and third. 2-0 count.
High inside.
Okay, in this situation, you do not want to walk this guy. That's the tying run.
You definitely don't want to walk him, but the only ironic advantage is it does give you a force at every base after that.
True.
So, but I don't think he's trying to walk him.
Nope.
But he did. So now we have the bases loaded.
Yeah, but still it goes against my grain to try to,
Oh, I know. I agree with you. I was just thinking fielding-wise.
And that's what every infielder should be yelling to each other right now.
Right.
And he plays at any base. Plays at any base.
Yep. And you probably want to say the nearest base. I mean, again, we're talking about just getting outs right now. Obviously, if the ball comes to the pitcher, first baseman, or third baseman, and it's hit well enough and they field it cleanly, you come home. But this could be a double play.
One.
Nope. So they got 1 run. And we have 1 out. So thought we were going to try to do the hidden ball trick there for a second, not throw it back.
No,
to the
they're just echoing 2 down. We need 1 more.
So I think, yeah, we do have 2 down, don't we?
Yep.
So
It was
the first batter struck out.
looking.
Yes. So we have a 7-5 game right now, folks, and all we've had is 1 hit in this inning, causing all this havoc. But we've had an error, and we've had a walk. So again, runner at third doesn't matter. Take the out at second or first.
Nice move by the coach, Justin Carasso, taking his young shortstop, having a word with him. Again, make him throw you a strike. Make him throw you a strike.
So he stole second on that, and they were not even really prepared to cover that, or throw down, I should say, which surprised me because 1 single can score 2 runs and tie the game.
2-0.
So Tyler Stevens is up, and he's walked and singled in this game, so he's 1 for 2 with a walk. Tough spot for a freshman. This is freshman on freshman here.
Oh!
And that's in there. That's in there.
Nice hit.
And we're going to have a tie game.
Clutch hitting there by Tyler.
Yeah, you know what was really nice about that is he took an outside pitch and went with it to the right side.
Exactly.
I mean, so now Edgewood's got to calm himself down, tell himself, get out of this inning with a tie, and come back and walk it off in the bottom of the 7th and get yourself the winning run.
Yep.
It's a game of emotional roller coaster sometimes, Dan.
Baseball's, again, it's a lot mental. You got to kind of forget about just what happened and try to get this third out, and then win the inning, and then score a run at the bottom of your inning.
So Tyler Stevens having quite a day with
walk and 2 hits.
Yeah.
As a freshman.
Multiple RBIs, and now I want to see if he's willing to steal.
He came in with 10 RBIs on the season. Just got a couple there.
Wow.
There he goes.
There he goes, and he's in there.
Tough pitch to handle for the catcher.
Yep.
Runners in scoring position.
Stealing the.
No.
Now, I'm a little surprised with that attempt.
Okay, the coach wanted him to break earlier. There was nobody holding him on.
Right.
The pitcher wasn't paying any attention to him. So if you notice, the coach, he was waving him, and then the young freshman didn't see him until later and got a late jump on it.
So that was a huge play, and it kind of gives Edgewood some
momentum going into the bottom of their inning.
Right.
So ran themselves out of it. They ran themselves out of an inning.
So they only had 2 hits but scored 3 runs. And they really didn't leave anybody on base because they threw the runner out at third.
Nice play by the catcher. I mean, we're concentrating on the base running, but it was a nice play by the catcher.
So we are at 7 runs and 9 hits and 6 left on for Edgewood. I'm sorry, for Joppatowne at the end of their 7th at bat. So now Edgewood on senior day has the opportunity
to walk it off.
Try to walk it off here. So let's see if they can. So not sure what the fan was trying to tell us there, but we have.
I think we were coming over 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see what these batters did. Our leadoff batter this inning is our current pitcher, Brian Guerrero. And Brian has already doubled and walked and stole a base.
Yeah, he's had a nice day.
Oh, actually, he was thrown out stealing. I got that wrong. But still, I mean, that last inning was worse than it looked. He had 1 really well-hit ball off in that inning. And the base hit that tied the game
was to your point, yeah. I mean, he went with the pitch. It wasn't really, really barreled up.
Right.
He didn't get the best part of the bat on it.
But it was
he had
still a line drive.
Nice placement.
And you know what? I go back to being old school and telling you I love the batters like Kirby Puckett and Wade Boggs and
hit them where they ain't and hit it where they throw it.
Yep. I mean, if you're going to give me a high outside pitch, I'm just going to punch it to the opposite field. and take my base, and then in about 3 minutes I'm going to be on second base because I'm going to steal that base. And maybe not Wade Boggs for that,
Yeah.
but Carew could. But best example would probably be a Ricky Henderson.
They had some boys that could motor back in the day with Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. I even like the Brady Anderson, Brian Roberts there with the Orioles. So that's a rainmaker too, but that's way out there. So let's see the outfielders.
Nice play by our left fielder.
Yeah.
He got a piece of it. But
He thought he was going to be walking off one over the fence there for a second. That was a really nice, well-hit ball. So now we have Ian Ferguson, our original pitcher. He's up, and he's got a single today. He just wants to get on base here and let his teammates bring him around.
Again, senior on senior night. Time to come through clutch.
We got 3 seniors in a row coming up here. Actually, the next 5 batters are seniors, so see if they can have themselves a good moment. That's outside.
I don't know if it's possible, but these guys are young. Some of these guys are young seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the coach,
Experience-wise, yes.
They may be seniors 4 years school-wise, but not a whole lot of experience playing varsity baseball.
Pitchers stretching their arms out here, swinging it around. I saw this in the last game.
Still a little chilly.
Well, this is the point where when you start to throw them out of pitches, you get a little stiff, and that's a ball to the first baseman. Wow.
Oh,
Safe.
pulled him off the base.
So that was a good stretch by our first baseman, but it was just in the inside of the bag.
I thought
where you
maybe
lean.
he may have tried to get a tag. Here's the replay.
Mm-hmm.
Get a tag on the
Runner hustling down.
on the inside.
Just pulled him off.
Ooh, I didn't know if he got his leg with the ball on the way by. Obviously not.
No. Again, we don't have a replay, so we got our potential winning run on first base here, folks, with Kyle Peretti up, and
1 out.
Kyle's looking for his first base hit today. And will we have a steal here? Got a piece of that.
Did you duck?
No, I didn't even move. Sometimes I don't even say it's because I was brave. It's because
no reactions anymore.
yeah, I'm tired a little bit, and I was, we'll see.
Ooh, nice breaking pitch.
Oh, he called it a pitch. Okay, strike. Wow.
Yeah, Landon gave up on that pitch.
Yeah, I gave up on it too. I thought it was going to be high and outside, but it must have just caught the top.
Broke right in there.
Yeah. Go.
Nice block by these.
So now
runner in scoring position with 1 down. Base hit scores him.
So Kyle has not been able to put the ball in play today, but this is the time to do it. You just want to, a base hit obviously is optimal, but you'd like to move the runner over to third.
Oof.
Okay, so now we're down to 2 outs.
He failed that, but the catcher caught it for a strike 3.
That was a good job catching.
Okay, here comes.
This is Devin Molina.
Yep.
And he is
senior.
A senior right fielder, and he is 1 for 3 for today.
See if you can get some clutch.
I think our outfielders are creeping in a little bit more than they were before, but I'm not sure. I mean, my school of thought, Dan, is you don't want anything dropping in front of you.
Fouled out of play.
I mean, what is your school of thought there? I mean, if the batter hasn't shown power, I'm coming in.
Again, in college you have scouting reports on everybody.
Right.
So, you're either waving your infielders in or your outfielders in or out. Here I'd play him just regular depth.
Oh, he got the chase there. So, folks and crew, we are going to extra innings here. So
we get paid extra for this?
So we had 1 hit, no runs, 1 left on base. So at the end of that, now we're up to 12 hits and 9 left on, and that's a lot of runners left on base. So I'm going to have to move my numbers here because I wasn't expecting an extra innings game here. But I will tell you this. Edgewood leaves off at the top of the lineup next inning.
Okay.
So that bodes well for them. So.
And what is their top of the order done so far today?
So far, their leadoff batter, Gabe Zell, who's coming up next, is 3 for 4. And then our number 2 batter, Andrew Mathias, is 2 for, he's 1 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. And then Ilian Ortiz has singled twice in 3 at-bats and walked and has a steal. And then our number 4 batter, Matthew Murdoch, is 2 for 4. So that bodes well.
We got a new pitcher on the hill.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was just getting ready to say it. So
New bump is on the Matthew Murdoch is on the bump.
Okay.
Senior left-hander.
So I like it. I like the move. You know, our freshman pitcher pitched a couple really solid innings. Gave up some runs last inning.
Yep, Brian Guerrero.
That was a lot of
went
pressure.
Went back to short.
Yep, and he's very good out there too. So Joppatowne's coming to the plate with my scoreboard here of bottom of the lineup with Ryan Miller and Isaiah Robinson, and they've both been on base once. So this is an interesting part of the game here, Dan, to see what our third pitcher has.
Yep. And from again, you know, I'm old school, so I watched the new pitcher warm up, and you look like he's bringing it. Left-hander. He's got some good movement on his fastball, at least from what I'm seeing here.
So now, do you see some little ball?
Hey, I'm a big proponent of small ball.
So if somebody gets a runner on first in this inning, it's going to be tougher to steal because you have a left-handed pitcher.
Right. He'll hold them on.
But if a runner gets on second with no outs, I'm always moving him over. My wife and I argue about that. She says you have 3 batters to get a base hit, and I feel like I like to move him over to third with 1 out because even a wild pitch could score the run.
I'm a big proponent of that myself. So get him to second base and then bunt it to the third baseman, make him have a play on it.
Right.
He can't do everything.
Right.
So he's got to field the bunt, and then you get him to third base. You score 11 different ways more from third base than you do from second.
Yes. So let me ask you this. I haven't seen anybody bunt, and I brought this up earlier in the game. Left-handed pitcher, you bunt to the pitcher's third base side, and you make them field the ball, they've got to spin all the way around and throw it to first base, which is a tough play.
You also see where he's falling off the mound, if he's balanced or if he's going to the left field side of the mound. So he's falling a little bit over to the third base side. So if you can bunt it down the first base side, he's got to turn around and come to the first base side of the infield.
Okay, here we go, folks. Top of the 8th inning. Visiting Joppatowne, trying to get the go-ahead run here and close it down. Edgewood trying to hold them off.
Get their first win of the year.
Yeah.
Nice
So that is a nice pitch, and that comes down to what I was talking about at the beginning of the game. This umpire likes the outside strike zone. He hasn't called the inside strike zone, but he calls the outside of it. So smart pitcher. And then we got a play here.
Got him at first.
Nice play. Now, you know, that made me nervous.
Nice play by Ian Ferguson.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Ian, was so calm about that I was nervous for him. I'm thinking, throw the ball.
No,
throw the ball.
No, get your nice little crow hop in there, deliver the ball, you're good.
Again, they know how to do it, and I'm not an expert at fielding. I'd probably be afraid to have my teeth knocked out playing down there. I probably couldn't get my glove up quick enough, Dan.
Yeah, you got to have some quick reactions at the hot corner. That's why I like second and short.
Get a little bit more time to think, don't you?
Exactly. Keep the married men off the infield.
I made a mistake in our slow pitch softball team, and you can imagine how hard people can hit a slow pitch softball. And we were moving around in practice one day, and I went over there, and then somebody hit a line drive right in my ear, and I didn't even get my glove up. I'm like, I'm going back to right center, Dad, because my dad was one of my coaches with me. And I was like, I'm going back to right center.
Well, I've taken a couple of in slow pitch softball off the face. Bloody noses.
Okay, so pitcher's going to have to come to him here, Dan. You do not want to walk the possible winning run.
Again, walks will kill you. Mantra that was drilled into my head, and when I first started playing Little League, you don't put people on. Brought it right back in there.
Now, that pitch was on the inside strike zone, but it came across the plate a little bit there. I like that.
Trying to overthrow a little bit.
He worked the walk. Now, that was one of those examples where I'd make the batter show me that they're going to be able to make contact. And he took 2 strikes, but then he also took 4 balls. So now you may see a coach for Edgewood soon trying to tell their pitcher, make them hit their way on. So we have the top of the lineup here for Joppatowne with Daniel Rose. And they throw over the first base.
Nice stop by the first baseman. Okay, little baseball strategy here. So they just walk the last hitter.
Right.
Take sign until he throws you a strike.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes in the era of free swinging, that really doesn't come into play. Make him throw you one.
So you want the pitcher to calm down here and just throw some strikes in here, and could possibly even get a double play ball. Pops that one up.
Down the right field line.
And caught it.
Yep.
Kind of a wind-blown ball, Dan. It was looking like it was going to be 10 feet, 20 feet out of bounds, out of play. And then the wind blew it all the way back.
Nice play by Ortiz there. Maybe didn't look the most artistic in the world, but he got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Nice pitch. Occasionally he tries to overthrow.
So we got Philip Haley up, and Philip is 1 for 3 and was also on by error 1 inning. So he's been on base 2 out of 4 times. And with 2 outs, that was close.
He has a nice pickoff move. He kind of hangs that leg there.
That could be very important because not letting the runner get to second base allows him to still give up a hit. And now he's going. He still slid in. He wasn't even going to get a throw, but he was like, I'm going to be sure I'm sliding here. So now I spoke too soon. Pickoff moves held him there, but he threw a high, little bit wild pitch there. And now the runner's on second base. So he's going to be running on anything except for a ball to the left side.
All right, the ump's going to have a meeting of the minds here. Don't know quite what they're going to be talking about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been that the second baseman who was covering the bag faked that he was going to make the tag, and that's why he slid. And that's kind of dangerous.
So you think maybe that might not be allowed in high school?
Yeah, so he's talking to the second baseman right now.
Right.
That's probably a no-no.
Yeah. And there's really, technically, if you think about it, there's no reason to do it.
No, you can get somebody hurt. Somebody, especially with the rain that the field's absorbed, turning an ankle,
running cleat into another infielder's shin when they're covering the base, and that's not even necessary. So good umpiring there by our infield ump, and he explaining it to the coach.
Yeah, I don't think the coach is real happy about it. I think he wants to give the extra base. I don't know if what he did was qualify as getting another base.
No, because they didn't throw down.
No. just nice piece of umpiring there, explaining what was the deal, and don't do that again.
So now they're going to come in behind him, but pitcher comes home just outside.
It's usually the pitch that the ump's been giving them, giving pitchers all day long.
I think it was just a little bit more out there than that.
Look good from back here.
Nice pitch. See, I don't see any need for the pitcher not to throw strikes. So far, they haven't been able to catch up with it.
It's easier said than done sometimes, right?
But like what I mean is sometimes you could try to be too fine.
Or try to overthrow. That's the big thing.
So that's in play.
Third baseman.
Throw over.
Got him.
And he got him. Again.
Nice play by Ian Ferguson.
Ian is so calm and cool. I'm sweating for him as he's like holding the ball. But they say a good infielder knows the pace of the runner and
you can see out of the your peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
I was always infamous for throwing a crow hop in there.
Right.
Used to drive my dad crazy. Get rid of the ball.
So now we are still 7 runs for Joppatowne and 9 hits, and they still have now they have 7 runners left on base. So, as I had mentioned to you before, Dan, we are coming to Edgewood's
top of
the lineup.
Top of their lineup, but it is the bottom of the 8th.
Yes, bottom of the 8th here. Let's see if Joppatowne brings out the same pitcher, or if they go new pitcher or not. Taking Joppatowne a little bit of time to get out in the field.
I think they are bringing a new pitcher, number 20.
Okay.
Again, we don't have their.
Well, let me see who the pitcher is if he was in the game already. So that would be Philip Healy.
Okay. And they've used their 3 top pitchers. Max Owings, Cam Tressler, and now going with Philip Healy.
So
Phillips 2-1 on the year, 28 Ks, and the ERA a tad over or tad below 5 at 4.92.
So this is kind of a necessity. So you talked about, I forget which team you said, was it Edgewood or Joppatowne has 4 games this week?
Edgewood has 4 games
so
this week.
I would imagine Joppatowne probably has 3 or 4 also because
of rainouts.
Rainouts and stuff.
Yep.
So this is where you're coaching for this game and the next 2.
Oh, yeah.
So
Definitely.
right now, it's kind of like the first game of a doubleheader for Major League. You have to decide, okay, how many pitchers are we going to use up in this doubleheader? We've also got a game tomorrow.
Right.
So now, by the rules that I was explaining earlier, if each pitcher pitches a certain amount of pitches.
You want to go over the pitch rule again for me?
So I was told that if they pitch more than 30 pitches, that they have to have 1 day off.
Okay.
So our last pitchers were probably right around that upper 20s to low 30s. So that's where a coach might have said to himself, I'm going to need our last Joppatowne pitcher, our last Edgewood pitcher, to pitch tomorrow. And if they only pitch 29 pitches, they can come back and pitch tomorrow.
Yep.
So the other pitchers, the next number that I had heard was around 45.
Okay.
So that's when you might have needed 2 days rest. And then 60 or more. And again, folks are listening to this. These are just guesstimations. I know there was 4 magic numbers. One made you allowed to come back the next day. One was 1 day off. One was 2 days off. One was 3. And one was the whole week. And that was the number I said of 105. So now we have our leadoff batter for Edgewood, Gabe Zell. He's been on base 3 times a day. And he would love to make it 4 right now. If he gets on base now.
Gabe's another one of our 7 seniors that was celebrated before the game.
Okay, high outside.
Okay. Now I'm coach. Put the take sign on. Make him throw you a strike.
Yeah.
Get your leadoff batter on.
Brand new pitcher.
There it is.
There it is. Gabe's saying, with the umpire, like, watch out, Gabe.
Again, umpires are sensitive creatures.
You don't want to.
You don't want
to make him
them
mad.
angry.
And then the next close pitch is a strike, also. So here we go. I think they have a 2-2 count here, but
yep. Got him.
Made him chase. So now we're up to Andrew Mathias, senior. 1 for 3. Got ourselves some good cheering section here going.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
That was all of a sudden a big cheer from the crowd. But you know what it is? I see a lot of the student body has shown up here in the last inning or two, so that's nice. Sometimes what happens, Dan, is one game finishes or one practice for another sport finishes.
Gotcha.
And then they'll come and show up and cheer on their classmates. And I always love to see that. That's wonderful.
School spirit.
So that's a very high fly ball. Should be caught, but you never know with the sun. So 2 down. Yeah, when I was in high school during the soccer season, the field hockey girls would often come over and cheer for the boys soccer team afterwards, and the boys soccer team would often go over and cheer for the field hockey after one of our practices when they had a game. In at least our case, I don't know if we were just being nice or we were trying to get some dates. Dan, I'm not sure.
I think I know which one.
Yes. I think we had our eye on some of the field hockey girls, so we were playing nice. No, we were very close, like Joppatowne is now. They're a small school, and I graduated from Joppatowne. And when you come from a small school, the old saying is kind of true. Almost everybody knows almost everybody.
Okay.
And, you know, that is nice. I mean, even the football guys would come down some when they got done practice and watch us. We didn't have lighted fields back then, so you didn't have the night games as much. So almost everybody was practicing or playing at the same time. So that should be the third out, but it is
center.
He's got it. So we are going to the 9th inning.
All right, overtime's just rolling in for us, right?
So I almost feel like saying now that they should go to the rule where
Put the runner
on second base. Yes, because we could be here all night.
And this field isn't lit.
No. And I'm going to run out of scoreboard soon here, Dan. My scorebook is going to run out of columns.
Oh, no.
Well, at least I know it's a tie game, and I know the next run's going to win. So unless Joppatowne puts up 4 and Edgewood comes back with 4, we'll have to see. This is going to come down to the wire.
Coming back with Andrew Murdoch on the bump again.
Mm-hmm. And we're now we're going to have Joppatowne with their meat of their lineup coming up. So we have their 3, 4, 5 batters coming up. So this is a good position for them. And so far, Cameron Tressler has won 1 for 3. And then Max Owings is 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. And then we have James Brewster, who is 1 for 3 with a walk as well. So
meat of their lineup.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting moment here. Somebody's going to be very happy, and somebody's going to be seriously sad at the end of this game.
Okay, we got the fans rolling down the hill, enjoying themselves a nice nice spring day.
I see our athletic director from Edgewood, Sarah Friedman, just walked by.
So this is a home game for you, Joppatowne.
And Edgewood, yeah, this is my growing up territory. So a lot of good memories at both places. You know, that's one of those things where you and I were talking about with the lacrosse game where athletes know each other and parents know each other. And the way the school district is laid out here in Joppatowne and Edgewood is people that actually live in Edgewood are school districted for Joppatowne.
Okay.
Because of the amount of the population and the size of the school.
And also
so
magnet schools
yes.
for different.
Yes, and so you've got kids here that those that did play Little League ball in this area, they played Little League ball with people on the other team.
Right.
You know, and some of them play basketball with each other or soccer with each other. So that's a strike.
Likes that low outside strike.
Mm-hmm.
Joppatowne fans getting a little into it now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's the easy. It's a 4-minute drive. So for somebody
that's with traffic or without.
You shouldn't catch too much if you're coming down Trimble Road to come down to here. Foul ball.
Out of play.
I think they might hit our van. Nope, just missed it. That's when our TV crew was glad they had their door closed because the ball was coming right at them. Great job by our crew. I greatly appreciate everything they've done. I've been fortunate enough to be asked by Don Morrison to fill in for him this winter and spring, and I've greatly enjoyed it and don't know what my status will be for the fall. I'm sure I'll color commentate a few games with Don, but this crew's been a joy to work with. And
pulled that one foul.
Dan, they do all the different. Their skills are immense. They got to follow lacrosse players up and down fields, track runners around the track.
They do a great job. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, and I've even had some of the times where the camera crew has to be very calm as a foul ball is flying right at them, you know, so.
In all kinds of weather, all kinds of temperatures.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah, one of our cameramen, I think it was Tom, was up on the, he was on the back of the football bleachers. Strikeout.
Got him.
He was on the back of the football bleachers in right field filming for the baseball game. And he was way out there and way up there. I was like, wow. Sometimes they climb on the very top of the press boxes for our games. It's pretty cool.
These guys do a fabulous job, and hats off to them.
I can't even take a picture of my family without cutting somebody's head off, you know, with a still camera.
Yeah, they don't give me the camera.
Everybody says, why is Mom never in the pictures? Because she's better at taking them than I am. So now we got one down, and Max has probably been one of the biggest batters for the day for Joppatowne. When he connects, he connects.
Took that pitch on the outside corner for a called strike one.
That was smart. That was smart pitch there. Inside, just missed. 1-1. Yeah, you don't want Max to put the meat of the
barrel.
Yeah, you don't want him to put the barrel of the bat on this because.
Do we have exit velos and all that other cybermetrics fun stuff?
He's hit some really hard balls today. There's a ground ball, just what you want. Calm down. Throws it over.
Nicely done by the second baseman.
Yeah, that was
Landon Miller.
That's another clock in your head kind of play. He didn't pick it up cleanly, but it was hit him in hard enough, and he knew just calmly pick it up and throw it to first.
And again, you can pick up the runner out of your peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm. So now we have Jamie Brewster coming up. He's a number 5 batter, and he's singled and walked in 4 at-bats. Had an RBI in the 4th inning.
I'll tell you what, after talking to the Edgewood coach, Coach Rodenbaugh, who talked about pitching, was one of their struggles so far this year, but can't tell that with this game. Their pitchers have done a really, really nice job.
And I know they've given up 7 runs, but still they've had a lot of shutdown innings. I mean, the runs have come in 2 innings. And remember the 1 inning.
Yeah, Ian ran into some tough luck, not very hard hit balls.
That's a gapper.
A base hit to right field.
Yeah, not quite a gapper. I thought it was hit more to the left, but nice single. And
it's what you want. Base runners on the base pass.
Newman is up now, and Ian is 1 for 4 with a single. And I don't know that we're going to see James run or not. I don't know James' speed to know whether he'll consider that. Again, you have a left-handed pitcher on the mound who's shown a good pickoff move.
Yeah, he's got a nice move. There he goes over. But you can kind of read him when he hangs his leg. He's coming over. When he just kind of picks it up and puts it down, he's coming to home.
So Dan, explain the when you're allowed to go to first and when you're not. They have to take their foot off the mound, right?
No. You can go from the stretch right over to first base with that. But you cannot deceive the runner. So sometimes, it looks like you're going to home, and you kind of do like a 45-degree angle and go over to first base. That's intentionally deceiving the runner, and that's a balk. Foul out of play.
So he's down to 2 strikes. This is
We got the Joppatowne softball team behind us, right?
I told you when they come over. So they are being loud, and
that's okay. They're having a good
Now,
time.
your girls played lacrosse, but I don't know if anybody ever tried softball. But
No.
softball players are louder than anybody, Dan. They cheer, and that's a ground
Nice.
ball. Should be the last out.
Really nice job by the second baseman, Landon Miller.
So 1 runner on that inning, and then still 7 runs, 10 hits, and 8 left on for Joppatowne. So now we're going to Edgewood in the bottom of the ninth.
We get a major league game going on.
I know, we do. And luckily the weather cooperated because
It didn't look good, you know, when we were driving here, and there's still some dark clouds over the field, out in the outfield.
it's the first game I've been to. So let's see this play here. Ground ball.
Again, Landon Miller, nice job.
So let's see here. Same pitcher again coming back for Joppatowne.
Yep.
So now
Still
we
peeling.
have their meat of the order coming up. We have 4, 5, 6 coming up here. So let's see if Edgewood can get the winning run here and get their walk-off. The biggest batter right here is the first batter. So this is the most important batter for our pitcher here because Matthew Murdoch is coming up, and he is 2 for 4.
But again, Edgewood needs base runners.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the way I was taught, your first hitter, make him throw you a strike.
Mm-hmm.
So do not swing until he throws you one. You need base runners, however way possible. I know you're putting yourself in a little bit of a hole on the count,
Mm-hmm.
but you need base runners, and you need to try to get on any way possible.
So the last game we did Monday night, me and Barb Solberg, the Bel Air bench cheered the entire game.
Oh,
you-
softball players with the cheers,
And they have
they're orchestrated.
They're orchestrated. Sometimes they're even choreographed. Like if you ever watch a high school game,
So much for taking that first strike.
a college game, they'll have little dance moves
Oh,
with
yeah,
it and
they're-
everything.
They're in sync.
So Matthew taking the first cut there. He did not want to listen to Dan at all. But I will say that was a strike down the middle. So it was a good pitch to swing at. Huh. How about those look close? Again, I've seen neither team have any interest in a bunt, even for some.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Swinging
I
bunt.
said it, and he got it. Oh my God!
Oh, really nice play. Oh, dropped the ball
wow.
at first.
That was a highlight reel play by the pitcher. I have to say, I honestly thought there was no chance.
He wasn't going to get him. Nope.
There's no chance. Look at this replay here, Dan. Swing and bunt. Batter
Again, really nice play. And
Just
took his eye off the ball.
Uh-oh.
Dead center field. Make nice contact, but right at the center fielder. 2 down. Here comes the freshman, Brian Guerrero.
So we could have our freshman, Brian Guerrero, start out shortstop, went to pitcher, back to shortstop. He had a double with 2 RBIs earlier, and he's walked. So this could be a big moment for him. Just as we say that, the
Pickoff move over to first base.
yeah, and then we also have the clouds covering the sun just at that moment, but I see a lot of space around it. That's a ball.
Ooh.
You called that a strike?
No, we called it a ball. I thought from here it looked pretty good.
Okay. So I don't know what kind of speed we have on first to get a runner moving, but doesn't look like he wants to move.
Nope.
So we have a 3-0 count here. Now, you don't see very many pitch outs in baseball.
Not anymore.
And
I mean,
in high school level, especially. Like you
don't see him in the major leagues either.
No. I think Brian kind of helped the pitcher out of that one there. That one was low outside, and
getting a little anxious at the plate.
I think he thought he was going to get a fat pitch down the middle there, and he was really wanting to swing hard at that.
Ball 4.
So now we move our.
Now I got a runner in scoring position.
Now you have Ian Ferguson, originally our pitcher, and Ian has had a great day. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. So I don't know that you would see this now, Dan. I don't know what kind of speed you have on your bench, but depending on the situation, sometimes you'll see, if the runner on second isn't fast, you'll see a pinch runner.
True.
But
very
not
true.
yet.
Whoa. Ball squirted away from the catcher.
Not quite far enough.
No.
Both base runners thought, I'm not getting thrown out on this, or I'm running wind sprints tomorrow.
We're running wind sprints tonight.
I've seen coaches line up their team after a game and run
Heck yeah.
sprints. That should
Up the
be
middle.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Very heads up. Oh my. Everybody's saying, get back. So that was a
real heads up play, taking the lead runner out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Real heads up play there.
So now you have
Landon Miller.
Kyle Peretti coming up for the 5th time.
That's coming back our way. Over our heads, though.
Is this a pinch batter?
No. Number 2.
Yeah.
Landon Miller.
I don't have
You don't have Landon on your scorecard?
No.
I know he was playing second base last few.
Okay, this could be big play needed here. Pumped up pitcher there.
Nice play again by your freshman shortstop. Now we're going to 10.
Do you have Landon in your score sheet?
I don't.
So,
but I know he's been in there.
Okay, you know what? He must have pinch hit for Kyle Peretti earlier. Because that should have been, I'm sorry, yeah. So that's number 2.
Top of 10.
So crew, we're
getting our money's worth here.
We are going another extra inning here. And you know what? That's a couple innings in a row here of some impressive plays in the field to bail out.
Yeah, they're putting the ball in play,
base.
but the fielders have been coming in and making the plays. Very impressive.
So we had a hit and a walk that inning, but we did not score. Is this
still
same pitcher?
Yep, Matthew Murdoch still on the bump.
So, folks, I'm kind of saying this over and over again every time we get to a new inning, because I'm actually wondering, are we going to get to another pitcher soon? Because of people using up pitchers.
Pitch counts.
Yes, and
you got Edgewood has 4 games this week.
Yes, and also what we don't know is how much depth do they have.
Right.
I think I saw on one team, I only think I saw 3 pitchers with stats this year. So I don't even know if they've gone to a 4th pitcher.
Coach Rodenbaugh, earlier before the game was saying that their big struggle this year has been pitching.
Mm-hmm. So we are now to the bottom of the order again for Joppatowne. And
that's the freshman.
I'm now going off my innings into other area on my score sheet. So if we have one of these like Major League record 19-inning games, I'm going to have to pull up another page and go to that. But luckily, we have beautiful weather here. It's the first event I've done in the last couple of weeks where I haven't been freezing. So I appreciate that.
That lacrosse game we had, John Carroll and Foston was a nice day.
Yes, it was.
I was wearing shorts and a polo.
Yes.
as opposed to a hoodie and, and Dockers.
Yes. Well, that's what's been weird about this spring, Dan, is it's like winter and spring are fighting.
Who's winning? I think winter's winning.
We'll get a couple 70-degree days, and then we're back in the 50s again, right? So here we are with Tyler Stevens, and Tyler is 2 for 3 with a walk. So what a day for this freshman.
And he's been stellar in the field as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm liking a lot of players on both teams, but I got to say, I'm really liking the freshmen for each of these teams.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They've played very well.
High pitch.
2-0.
Well, and I'm not saying this.
I got the take sign on, Ray. I've been a big proponent of the take sign today.
And I'm not saying this to be disparaging of Tyler at all, but he's not real tall, and he has a small strike zone. So it's hard to pitch to a smaller player.
Yep. You got to really bear down and concentrate.
So now as I talk about the weather.
The wind hasn't died down.
The wind's picking up, and the clouds are in front of the sun, and we just changed like 10 degrees.
Ball 4.
So I'm waiting for one more really good big cloud to get past the sun here so we can get some warm weather here again, folks. So now
we're going to play some small ball?
I was going to say, you've got a number 8 batter here, and I would think a number 8 batter would be able to bunt, slap the ball a little bit. Now, left-handed pitcher is huge here, because I'm going to go on record as saying Tyler probably has some quickness, and if it wasn't a left-handed pitcher, he'd have twice the lead.
So much for our small ball suggestion.
No, but
bunting is not in their vocabulary.
So Ryan Miller has struck out twice, grounded out, and has a single so far this game. So he's a little anxious here to make it happen.
I've actually been known back in the day to bunt with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
A little dangerous because if you hit a foul, you're out.
Yeah.
But at least, you don't have the third baseman breathing down your throat.
I know.
And as soon as I came up, the third baseman and the first baseman came up. They knew my my bunting history.
So the batter would be wise to try to hit one to the right side.
Oh, there we go. There's your...
I didn't quite mean that, but still.
Advances the runner. Runner in scoring position, 1 down.
And the reason I meant that is the first baseman was holding the runner on base, which opens up the hole between first and second base. So your more advanced hitters will definitely slap the ball to the right side and try to let it go through there. I mean, how many times have we seen a batter hit what we call a C&I ground ball through the right side? The runner goes from first all the way to third. So now you got the winning run on second base. Our middle infielders are conversing as to who's going to cover the base.
Again, it's a cat and mouse game. The second baseman will come over and then go back, and as he goes back, you'll see the shortstop try to come from behind and sneak in.
So in this one, I definitely think it's a second baseman that comes in, because with a right-handed batter up against a left-handed pitcher,
you want your shortstop
to stay home.
Yep. But you can at least bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Now he's going to go to third, and I thought he was going to still throw. So Tyler's causing some trouble out there, Dan, and
good heads-up base running, pass ball. Actually, it wasn't a pass ball. It was just a wild pitch.
Yeah. That's one where I was saying before about sometimes you want to tell your pitcher, and you can't forget about the runner, but you can't focus so much on the runner that it's affecting your pitching to the plate.
Correct. Pitcher wanted that one.
Yeah, that was pretty close. So when he has thrown it over the plate this inning, he's been able to get them to chase a little bit, and last inning too. But you don't want to help the pitcher out. Right now, Isaiah Robinson wants to just make contact.
Ooh, that was close.
Catcher wanted that one, and that's
So did the pitcher.
that's the one you said before that was a strike earlier in the game.
Yeah, and that's what'll drive a pitcher crazy and a hitter crazy and a coach crazy. If you're going to keep calling it one way, keep calling it. Floating strike zones are not fun.
So now you have first and third, and I'm going to say that even though it's a left-handed pitcher, I'm probably running. Look at this. Look at this. Very heads up.
Yep.
So that was my highlight of my game right there, Dan. And people will say why, and it's not. It's a form of little ball and being a smart player.
Right.
He rounded first, and he saw that nobody was covering second or even paying attention. So now that takes away the double play, which could be huge, because any ball hit to the outfield.
Potential to score a run?
Well, that would have scored a run anyhow, but my point, I was messing myself up there, is any infield ground ball that could have been a double play to end the game, the inning, is now a possible run-scoring lead run.
Right. Oh, there's our bunt, our first bunt.
I asked for it.
And I don't know about in that situation.
I will say that it's not surprising that Dan Rose, our leadoff batter, would be the one that could attempt the bunt, because you would think a leadoff batter would have that skill, right?
When I was playing, I was either 1 or 2, and it's all about, he asked for time. The umpire didn't give it to him. I think the pitch counted.
It counted, but unfortunately for the pitcher, it was a ball. That's one of those times where you'd like to be able to throw it right down the middle when you see the runner stepping out.
Or you mean the batter?
The batter stepping out, yes. So third base, you get the lead. You can hear Dan safely.
I've actually, with bases loaded, I've stepped out on a pitcher. I didn't call timeout. I just stepped out.
Right.
He stopped, balk, run scores.
Oh my gosh! Wow. It's low.
Ooh.
So this is a catch-22 here, Dan. If he walks them, yes, you could accidentally walk in the next run, but you can also get a force anywhere.
No, we got nobody on.
That's what I mean. If you walk him,
oh, okay,
you'll
gotcha.
have bases loaded.
And again, force play at any base.
Yes. So big pitch.
Oh, that's smoke.
He's coming home, and he didn't catch it, and he's got the run. So run scores.
It's a tough throw to handle.
It was the right play, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, he had to
because
throw
the infield was up. Let's see if we have a replay on that.
See, if he throws a line drive.
Here we go. Okay,
Catcher is completely ready.
See, the infield's up, one hopper.
Yeah, if he that might have almost even hopped twice. That was a tough ball to field.
Yep.
If he throws a line drive to the catcher, I think he has him out.
Yes, agreed.
So what do you do here, Dan? You have only one out. You're leading right now. And then I was hoping to see the runner go all the way from first to third on that. That would have been some heads-up running. But he's still on second.
Correct.
So we have runners on first and second there. And what I was going to say is if he was on third, that's when I would be thinking about a suicide squeak. Because the second run lead is huge. So this is
popped him up.
Tougher play than people realize in the sun and everything.
Nice play.
He did catch it.
Again, that's Landon Miller at second base. Put on some defensive work out there.
That was a huge catch. But I don't know. Do you know the infield fly rule and how that works in that situation?
So that should I did not hear the umpires signify that.
Right.
But less than 2 outs, first and second, infield fly rule is in effect.
Yeah, because he could technically drop that
and turn it into a double play.
third back to second for a double play.
Yep.
I've seen some really heady ball players do that on a bloop at him in the infield.
Yep.
So this should be. Oh, he gets nothing.
Uh-oh. Throw it away.
Now they're asking for interference, and they're calling a runner
Yes.
a runner out.
Yes. And that'll be the inning.
That's a big play. So now both teams have
Let's see if we get
a run into an out or run themselves out of a situation here.
replay here.
So he
Okay,
runs
here's.
right into him.
Yep, that's definite. That's an easy call for blue.
So there are no blocks allowed in baseball, folks.
Pulling guards are are not allowed. But he definitely ran into when you're trying to field the ball, you cannot interfere with the fielder.
So we now have 8 runs, 11 hits, and 10 runners left on base. So now Edgewood has to answer here, folks. They're down 1, and this would be a little bit of a heartbreaker for them, Dan, if they don't get this first win, because they had a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that was tough.
7th. Yes. Well, that's where it gets tough once you're getting to your second, third pitchers and stuff like that. So Joppatowne is 3 outs away from leaving with a win. Edgewood wants at least 1 or get 2 for the win. So Edgewood is in kind of a good situation here, Dan. They're at their number 9 batter, according to what I have.
Then you flip the lineup.
Yeah.
And we still have Philip Healy still on the bump.
So we are literally going to have an 8-7 lead for Joppatowne going into the. Help me out here, Dan. Bottom of the 10th.
Yes.
And the crew is really hoping for not 1 run, not 1 run. They want 0 or 2.
2. Gotcha.
And but I tell you what, we've been treated to a very exciting game. Sun's back out. I'm going to actually say, Dan, if you look over your right shoulder here, that's going to be a little tough on the left fielder.
Yeah.
And even the left side of the infield if it's a medium pop.
Good point.
Did you ever do the fancy flip glasses and stuff?
Oh yeah, I looked good when I was out there, right?
You have them on top. You have them flipped up.
Yep.
And when it's going to get that high pop up, flip them down.
Back with my high stirrups.
But the thing is, they have to be special kind of glasses because you have to still be able to see the ball well through them. You know, it's not like your beach sunglasses, folks, where you're just trying to look cool, even though Dan just admitted that he was trying to look cool also. So here we go.
Fashion and function, right?
So foul off to the left. So all the fields around us are empty now, Dan.
Everybody else went home.
Yeah, softball is done. Track and field is done. Lacrosse teams have gone away, but
we still have the residuals from the softball game. So we got the Joppatowne.
So that could be a tough play, but let's see if they're calm about it.
Nicely done.
So we have a ground out here.
4-3. If you're scoring at home.
So now we have a leadoff batter, Gabe Zell, coming up. And Gabe has been on 3 times. He's 3 for 5.
Down to their last 2 outs.
But he did strike out against this pitcher last time at bat. So let's see if he can figure him out this inning. Got the bunt sign on. Fouled off to the left.
I thought he was just trying to do it to distract the pitcher, and but he kept it out there and attempted the bunt.
Joppatowne was ready for that. Third baseman was in quick. Pitcher was in quick. Sometimes.
And the third baseman was actually up a little bit too.
Yeah. Sometimes I've seen cunning batters do that early in the count. They want to draw the infield in more, and then they're really good at like slapping it right by them.
Yep. Again, it takes really, really good back control. It's a lot of hours in the cage working on that.
Well, Gabe's he's a cunning batter, but he just struck out there. So we are down to our last out here, and we have senior.
Oh, what a bat flip!
Andrew Mathias. What's that?
Andrew with a bat flip, walking up to the dish.
Uh-oh.
Calm, cool, and collected. Okay, there's our softball with the orchestrated cheers.
Yes, they're doing the cheers for the baseball game.
Take all the way there.
And then he gave a little glare to the umpire there. Did you see that?
I thought he was looking at us.
Oh, man. Ball.
Overthrew that one a little bit.
Yeah, 4.6 grade point average. I can't even imagine. I mean, your GPA, my GPA. our kids had grades like that, Dan, but we didn't, right?
That's true. Thank God they got their mother's brains.
That's right.
And beauty.
That's right. Yeah, I went to, and I know you did too. I went to a lot of NHS meetings, events when my kids were in high school. None when I was in high school.
I actually was in the Honor Society, so I can't.
Oh, wow.
Didn't translate into college, but. Run, kid.
And he's safe.
Yeah. Again, for those of you not quite familiar with the rules in baseball, on the third strike, if it gets by the catcher, you can run to first base.
So that's could be a pivotal moment in this game. Let's see if I don't know if Andrew would consider running, but we have a right-handed pitcher in here, and let's see what kind of lead he can get. It matters and it doesn't matter now, Dan. You'd like to get the second if you can, so that it only takes one single to bring you in instead of two. But,
got fooled on that pitch.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that this is a moment where I think the coaches need.
Really good when it's en route.
Oh, got through there. Flip. Second. Force out. So
Joppatowne with the W.
So I'm going to do some final numbers here, Dan.
Okay, I'll fill in the meantime.
I have a lot. No, I can do it when I'm talking. But what I have here is I have Edgewood with 7 runs and 13 hits.
Yeah.
So they had plenty of hits, but they had 10 runners left on base. And then I have Joppatowne with 8 runs. And right now you see the teams lined up for the handshake, which is always nice. And you got a player out on second base here that they're tending to that did not get up. It looked like they got hurt on that slide. So the players are all taking a knee.
Looks like it's a shoulder, though.
Mm-hmm. So for Joppatowne, I have 8 runs, 11 hits, 10 left on. And before I wrap things up with records and such, what are your thoughts about this game?
Again, a heartbreaking loss for Edgewood. We keep hearkening back to that. I think it was the second inning when they ran themselves out of a potential big inning. You just can't do that and expect to win baseball games. Again, this is a young, old Edgewood team.
Right.
Seven seniors, but not a whole lot of playing experience. A valiant effort by them, but you also got to give it to Joppatowne. Down 3 runs in their last AB, and scratch out 3 runs to send it to extras. So really nice effort by both teams. Feel a little bit bad for Edgewood not getting their first W of the year, but you got to applaud the Joppatowne team for scratching back, down 3 runs, and forcing the extra innings.
And you also have to give credit to the depth of pitching for Joppatowne. You had talked about that, and they got I think they shut them out the last 4 innings, so that was big.
Yeah, for a team that had pitching concerns. We talked to the coach about at the before the game, and then to throw a bunch of zeros.
Yes. So, Dan, it was great having you here today, and I think
Ray, always as always a pleasure to work with you, and the Hartford Sports crew. They do a fantastic job.
Yes, they do. So I have Joppatowne moving to 6-12, and unfortunately, Edgewood was not able to get their first win. But final score here, folks, today in 10 innings.
Yep.
Joppatowne wins 8-7, and thank you for tuning into all of our events this year, and look forward to seeing you back in the fall. Thank you for tuning in to Hartford TV. Take care.